Greetings, everyone. And welcome to a strangely familiar episode of Monster Party.
Monster Party! It's familiar.
It's literary.
I think we've done this before.
I feel like it's deja vu-ish.
It is deja vu-ish.
It's deja voodoo.
And speaking of voodoo, who are you, sir?
I am Matt Weinhold.
I am Shawn Sheridan.
I'm Larry Stroth.
And I'm James GONIS.
And wow. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Wow. I mean, for this topic...
Well, people have said that there's a particular topic we've done, and we got a lot of response for it, and they said
People
they
are always asking, bring that topic back.
So
That's right.
So
we're going to do it.
Yeah,
We're
but
finally listening to our listeners. Are you happy?
very happy. Well, Matt,
right.
what is our topic?
The topic is revenge of the Mad Movie Smackdown.
Revenge of the Mad Movie Smackdown.
Now, since
It's
this...
revenge. We're
Yes.
getting revenge on people things.
Vengeance.
Yes. And I've been waiting for this for ages.
Channel that anger at the world, not at us. Now, since this came out of the twisted mind originally of Shawn Sheridan
And his liver.
and his liver, his new spanking new
Clean.
liver, like a whistle.
Bionic liver.
I want Shawn Sheridan to explain again the rules.
What is this?
What
This
this
topic.
is as we are all fans of genre guidebooks, genre horror, sci-fi encyclopedias,
Books.
where you go through and you like
Remember books?
Yeah, big lists of movies where you like pick the different entries and see like, oh, I haven't seen this one. Oh, I gotta check out this movie. Yeah, this is not looking on the internet, not digital. This is like going through cool reference
a
books.
book,
Yeah,
a book, a dusty
reference
exactly
book with where the spine's a little cracked, you know, and like you go through and like
Try doing that with your computer. Try flipping through your
with your
computer.
iPad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like we grew up reading these books, especially before, we're old enough to know that before the internet and before all this digital
We used to have to
age.
do this with scrolls.
Yeah. That's right.
Parchment.
Yeah, on like stone tablets.
Yeah.
So we grew up reading these reference guides, making lists of our own of all the movies that you want to see or have seen, and so we did an episode called Mad Movie Smackdown with Ken Daly.
Yeah.
And it was basically
He's a good kid.
We have a pile of books here, and we take one of these books and just flip it open randomly and without looking. Smack our finger down on wherever the entry lands. And
Smackdown.
Get it? And whatever we pick, we talk about that movie. It could be a movie that some of us have seen, or maybe none of us have.
none of
Never
us has.
seen.
Yeah, because last time
There were a couple.
There were a few movies that like we thought, what is this? Like it piqued our interest to go seek it out.
And we've seen every one of those movies since then.
And as far as like piquing your interest, how should we do this? We should do this with some great guests.
Great
right.
guest.
Perfect
And
guest.
man, do we have the greatest guest. It is my honor to introduce our guest, who is an old friend of mine. He is a magnificent comedian.
A return guest.
We're talking comedy legend. We're talking amazing actor. This is a special effects guy who is a model maker as well. So he's one of us. You know this guy from films like Willow, Groundhog Day, Secret Adventures of Jules Verne, Eight-Legged Freaks.
Eight-legged freaks.
And the show I'm Dying Up Here. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Rick Overton.
Thanks, fellas.
Back on Monster Party.
Thanks. I just smelled gravy and thought I'd pop my head in the door.
We always got a roast cooking.
I hope I'm not imposing.
Not at all. Not at all.
No way.
No. Wow, our first lull already. That's nice. Well, now, do you have any questions, first of all?
As to how
Rick,
this game
about
is played?
How we're going to do
Well, fellas,
this? Or are
if I
you
don't-
ready?
If I don't know the film,
No.
Just say so. Or don't say a thing.
Or read.
Yeah, just read the entry.
Because there'll be like, the director who starred in it, and there'll be usually a little blurb. And so read the blurb.
But
okay.
But what we'll do is we're gonna have Sean start, so you can get an idea as to how this game is
Sean
played.
knows what he's doing.
So we have a stack of books over here. What do you say we get started then, huh?
Let's do it.
So Sean, why don't you pick a book from the
All right, I will
batch?
take the original Psychotronic. Sorry. The booze is already.
Bye, Sean. Bye. There he goes. There he goes. Oh.
Is this a die game?
No.
It is now. The Psychotronic Encyclopedia of Film.
Okay. All right.
You
Very
really
good
die.
All right.
All right.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm sorry I didn't do that fast enough for you, Larry. God, man, you're on all cylinders of control freakage.
Yes. You know what? I'm gonna pull back a little bit.
All right. Now, I'm going to hold the book to the microphone so you can hear the flipping of the pages.
Oh, this is going to be good. Of course.
And I pick.
And for our listeners, that was all Foley.
Okay.
We used an entirely different book.
I picked a good one, actually. I think most of you guys have seen this. From 1973, Horror Hospital.
Oh, no. I've never seen it.
Horror Hospital.
Michael
Goff.
Michael Goff.
This is Nicky.
No, it's
like
not
the guy
Nicky, it's the other guy, Robin Asquith,
Oh, okay.
who's like a Nicky Henson kind of character.
Yes, he's-
Let me
if you
read
can't
the,
get him.
Right, let me read the entry here. So Horror Hospital, 1973, directed by Anthony Balk. Michael Goff, the British king of horror film ranting and overacting, stars as Dr. Storm in a misfire comedy of decapitations and brain experiments. Robert Asquith, which I think is wrong, I think it's Robin Asquith, is a Peter Noon lookalike pop singer who visits the hospital. The film was re-released here with an ad campaign comparing it to Coma. It's not like Coma.
Not in any way,
great.
shape, or form.
Right. With Dennis Price as a humorous homosexual and a scene-stealing dwarf. How can you go wrong?
Do you need any more?
Now, this was,
try that review today. Submit that to your editor in 2018.
So this was the British film industry early 70s. So there were some looser, but there were some looser restrictions on sex and violence. So there's some nudity in this film,
there's some
nudity and sex, and there's quite a bit of gore.
Nice nudity.
Yeah.
A bit of violence. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, over the top and cartoonish, but kind of gruesome though.
Horrendous in some places.
Yeah. It's actually it's a very strange movie. Actually,
It is.
It
does ride that line between. It felt like it didn't know what it wanted to be.
Yes, but I disagree. That's
Horror
a
or
misfire,
comedy.
though. I think it's.
I enjoy it. I like it.
I enjoy it a lot now, actually.
But we're a rare breed.
Yeah,
you and
that's
I,
true.
Sean.
That's true.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for kind of obscure early '70s British horror comedies, check out Horror Hospital.
I may have seen clips of this. I don't know if I've seen the whole thing, but I think I've seen
it's
clips
strange.
of it.
It's very odd.
Yeah, but I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And I remember the first time watching it. Like, I think it took a couple tries. Like, I got about a third through it, and I was like, this is a little weird.
Yeah.
And then once I finally went through the entire film, I was like, okay, this is pretty good.
Yeah, and it's more appreciated too if you get the uncut Blu-ray.
Okay. Now, is this a film that you can recommend, like, during dinner or something? Or
yes, it's perfect dinner evening viewing.
And you have the Blu-ray, Sean?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's great.
Cool. That's nice, Sean.
There you go.
That's a good one.
Nice.
Okay.
Well,
right.
I'm going to go with the Creature Features Movie Guide Strikes Again by John Stanley. And John Stanley, as we all know, was the host of Creature Features,
That's
or the
true.
second host of Creature Features in Northern California. And we actually had a little issue last time. And the issue was, as we were reading some of the reviews, it was almost as if he didn't like
Yeah,
some of the
it
movies.
seems like
But you know what?
quite a few movies. that
I'm
he
willing
liked.
to bet that he's going to like some movies. And I'm sure I'm going to find it. So I'm opening the
I
book.
just hope that he likes some movies that aren't like, Forbidden Planet or
Right.
like
Something
something a little
obscure.
offbeat.
Okay. So I've picked Fire in the Sky from 1978.
Yeah, sure.
Do you guys remember this?
I know the writer.
78?
I'm friends with the writer. It's Mel Torme's son.
Oh.
Wow. Tracy Torme wrote that.
Really?
A comet is on a collision course with Earth, destined to hit Phoenix, Arizona. Astronomers Richard Crenna and Jonah Miles warn
Oh,
mankind.
that's completely different.
Yeah,
Fire in the
this
Sky.
is a
That's
different-
reuse of the title. What year? is it?
Yeah.
You're thinking of the
1978.
UFO abduction one, right?
1993 with
93.
D.B. Sweeney and Robert Patrick.
Yeah, that's right.
This
That's
is
an
the
alien
other
abduction
Fire
movie.
in the Sky. This is the earlier Fire in the Sky.
I don't know if I know this one.
Oh,
Thank you
I
for-
remember Meteor. I suppose you'd like me to stick a broom up my ass so I can sweep the door on the way out?
Well, Sean, let me tell you something. So I'm reading this, and here's what Stanley has to say, okay? He says, so Richard Crenna and Joanna Miles warn mankind, but do you think mankind listens? Don't expect much in effects. This consists of characters running around frantically, ignoring Crenna's predictions, behaving selfishly.
This was a TV. This was a TV movie actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was maybe in 2 parts, and I believe this was
In 2 parts?
Well, yeah, because I'm looking at the the running time is 2 hours and 30 minutes, and it's TV.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Yeah,
I think
that's
it was a 2-part or a miniseries or 3 hour.
That's a long
event.
slog.
But see,
Yeah.
Richard Crenna is a good actor, though.
He is
you
a good
know?
actor. That doesn't sound too interesting, though.
I think maybe this came out to try to beat Meteor, which is coming out soon after that, right? Wasn't Meteor like
Yes,
79?
That's right. 1980.
Yeah, because like Meteor was going to be a big
That was
thing.
a huge.
Yeah, but it was a huge bomb. But everybody thought it was going to be a big hit. But I think Fire in the Sky, I think, was kind of trying to
Yeah, they
beat
thought that was going to be like the next big kind of like
Disaster
disaster
movie,
movie.
yeah.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
the
it was
meteor-
a big detente message about we had to use Russian gear to help blow
Yes.
it up.
That's
and
right,
stuff,
that's
you
right.
know? It was like right as the wall might have teetered and coming down.
I think
That's
maybe it was
right.
the Natalie Wood trying to be the Russian, having the Russian accent or something. And
Yeah,
you know,
and
another
it was
thing,
a little tough.
And Brian Keith, I think, was.
I
in it,
think the
too.
meteor needed to be bigger.
Sure.
and not
Always.
have that weird
Well,
every time it appeared, it was like roof. That's like a
poster-
giant dog. It's supposed to trigger some weird primal fear in you.
the poster of Meteor was really cool, though. I mean,
Yeah.
it was.
I had it on my wall.
Did you?
Yeah.
I had it on my wall too.
Because I got like a free fold-out flyer.
I
or
got the
something.
same thing,
yeah,
Matt.
and it was cool. The artwork was great.
And then at the movie theater, what was great? Oh, I wanted this so badly. There was I went to the movie theater, and Meteor was coming out. I'm like, I gotta see this. I gotta see this. They had a giant cardboard 3D standee,
Wow.
and what was cool is there was a little flashing light behind the giant meteor. So it was like, chicka, 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 chicka. And it's like, oh, that's so cool. I wanted it so badly. It
The
was-
last time you'd be entertained by the movie Meteor. The lobby.
Well, that's interesting because like Fire in the Sky,
So-
looking at the Richard Crenna, but also Elizabeth Ashley, Joanna Miles, Lloyd Bachner, a lot of good people. I don't think I've seen this though.
You know, I was 13.
Lloyd Bachner.
This thing was on TV when I was 13, and my mom and my sister, it was hyped a lot. There were a lot of commercials for it. My mom and my sister were watching
Yeah.
it. They were glued in front of the TV, and I was so bored. Even
know,
at 13,
yeah.
I was like, get me out of here. And I couldn't find a thing to do. That's the only thing I remember about Fire in the Sky, is
And,
that I
you
was
know,
bored,
yeah.
senseless.
And Meteor came out 79, so I think definitely they were on a race to
79 out.
Yeah, so they were trying to ride on the hype of Meteor.
Yeah, and like, and even when you get to movies like Deep Impact, and what was the Armageddon? Was the other
Armageddon,
one?
yeah.
That usually it's this long slog that like, oh, the meteor's coming, and
Right,
then
right.
you wait for the last 10 minutes of destruction with the meteor.
Human sacrifice.
Yeah.
To stop a thing.
Right.
But what was cool is there was a little chunk of meteor. There's like a little meteor that hits first.
Right,
You
they're
know,
like
it kind of
little
gives you a
debris that comes
sense of
first,
yeah.
right.
Bad it could
Right,
be.
because think about it, a meteor, that kind
For
of
which movie?
disaster in Meteor, right?
In Meteor?
Deep Impact.
Deep Impact.
Deep
Deep
Impact,
Impact, right?
As
But
the most real of all of those films. in a lot of
Probably,
ways,
yeah.
You know,
I mean-
and the emotions of what you'd go through.
Oh,
Right,
Get
right.
the children here, take the child on the copter, all that.
I'm with you.
Insane. What would you do?
Take the baby. Go put the baby on the motorcycle.
All the thoughts you don't think you'd ever have, right?
But that's why I like
Right.
a movie like On the Beach, because On the Beach, I like it actually because it's darker and more of a downbeat ending because
Right.
you know the end is coming, and there's a couple possible things you can do to maybe forego the inevitable.
Right.
But it's coming.
And it's really concentrating on the people.
Yeah, and you just see the toll it takes on
Right.
everybody.
It's like the testament of Meteor films.
that's a great movie. That's a
great movie,
Yeah.
Well, and Gorath from Japan, which sort of
Oh.
predates a lot of those movies.
Which is the best of all of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Gorath.
Until the walrus shows up at the end. And then
Magma.
That's what you're waiting for. Yeah. The whole movie. Like, oh, there he is. Oh,
All right,
okay.
now we're just holding on to the inevitable. Matt, it's actually James's turn
James.
here.
James, what would you
James,
like?
pick a book from
The,
the batch of books that we have
the one
over
at the
there.
bottom, the Encyclopedia of Horror
Of course,
movies.
it's the one at the bottom.
Hardy. It's also the heavier one there. Don't strain
Maybe this wasn't
yourself.
such a good idea. Now, looking back.
Maybe instead of stacking them, we could have them up like a regular
Yeah,
shelf.
that's an idea.
All right. What do
You
we got?
pull
So-
the book out and the panel swings around.
Check. A lazy Susan.
Yeah.
And they just flings a book at you, and you have to choose from that one.
When we do double revenge of the Mad Movie Smackdown,
Right,
we'll
right.
do that. James?
Okay, from Andy Milligan.
Yeah, we got Andy Milligan
1972.
last time.
I know. Here's another one. The Man with Two Heads, a.k.a. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Blood.
If I remember correctly,
I haven't seen
it's-
this one.
I've not seen this film, but I think it was a misleading campaign and a misleading title in that it's a split personality thing. It's not like a physically two heads.
So there's no two heads.
It's more
and
Jekyll and Hyde.
It's more Jekyll and
not
Hyde.
Incredible
okay.
Two-Headed
What's the title
Transplant.
again, James?
The Man with Two Heads, a.k.a. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Blood, set in London in 1835 and filmed in England. The story concerns Jekyll's attempts to control the evil in people by isolating parts of their brains. Unfortunately, the serum with which he injects himself calls forth his terrible alter ego, Mr. Blood.
Mr. Blood.
And,
Sounds like there's a song that goes to it.
He completely fooled all the lawyers.
I'm just fascinated that Andy Milligan shot a movie in England. I had no idea.
Yeah.
What's the date on it, James?
1972.
72.
Okay. Not seen that one.
Wow.
Stump the panel.
Yeah.
And-
All right.
No, I think I would kind of like to see that, though.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
a
curious.
curiosity. Yeah.
And in our exploitation episode, we had David Tikoto and
David
David
Duvall.
Duvall talk a lot about Andy Milligan.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's one filmmaker I really have not familiarized myself with. So,
Again, what we were told is maybe the movies aren't the greatest, but artistically they're really clever.
Right,
and,
on a very small
good.
budget.
Yeah.
I'm game. Let's do it.
Thanks,
All right.
James. That was
Okay.
nice.
So it's
All
up to
right, Matt,
me
it's
to
up to
pick
you.
a book, and
Oh,
I
pick the one on the bottom, Matt. Shake it up a bit.
think what I am going to go for. I love the Psychotronic.
Ooh.
So I'm going to go for that.
It's my Bible.
Yeah, I love this book, and especially this edition of it too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's got
the
great,
original.
the best pictures
By Michael Weldon, by the way.
by Michael Weldon. Yes,
Michael Weldon.
Okay, here we go.
Matt
Let's say Michael Weldon again.
Okay,
Michael Weldon.
So Matt is paging through the
Sterling
book.
Hayden
He
is Michael Weldon.
He is flipping the pages, and he points to.
Blank. No. Oh, The Eyes of Laura Mars.
I like that one. That's a fun one.
Yeah, that's
Irvin
I enjoyed that
Kershner,
one.
director of The Empire Strikes Back.
My
It's
introduction to
written-
Tommy Lee Jones.
That's written by John Carpenter.
John Carpenter is one of the writers. Yes.
Damn.
Here's their blurb. Former hairdresser John Peters originally planned to produce this psychic thriller as a vehicle for Barbra Streisand. She sings the theme song.
Right. Just a prisoner.
That's good.
Wow.
We are so sued. Faye Dunaway ended up playing the title role of a fashionable New York photographer who can see through the eyes of a psycho who is murdering her friends. Tommy Lee Jones is a detective on the case, not the psycho?
Yeah, really.
With Brad Dourif. Okay, all right. Now I understand. Now I understand.
What's the date on that?
the
78?
date is 78. Yes, yeah. It also features Renee Auberjonois.
Odo from Deep Space Nine. See, I
Love him.
knew that. James,
And Raul Julia.
Yeah,
This is a
yes.
Raul Julia's in this?
Yeah, it's quite a packed
It's
cast.
a cool movie because it's like Faye Dunaway is this very successful fashion photographer who uses like violence in her imagery, and so the idea is that all these fashion shoots, they picture murder, but like with like really hot women, and the idea is that all these imagery.
Who would like that?
Yeah, it's like
70s thing.
affecting this. It's getting the attention of some psycho killer who has issues, and so
Oh,
he's going after the
psychos.
models. But yeah,
Those scamps.
yeah, it's a fun movie though.
Get this, though. Jack Harris of Blob fame was the executive producer.
Wow.
Hey.
You say Blob fame, you're not talking about the series where the Blob tries to break into this arts school. Because technically it is going to live forever.
Are you talking about
We
classic?
need to make that
Wait,
show.
are you talking about classic Blob?
Yes.
Steve
Yeah,
McQueen
Yes,
Blob.
the
Well,
original
yeah,
Blob.
and Jack Harris did a lot of stuff in the 70s, like
Yeah.
exploitation films. That's
Well,
cool.
Jack Harris also produced the sequel, Son of Blood.
Right, that's
Yeah.
right.
Wow,
But,
that's
yeah,
incredible.
Eyes of Laura Mars is a good one.
I love that movie. And
it's trashy and kind of
it's
fun
trashy,
and
but
slick.
it's a nice little thriller.
And there is a supernatural element to it too, because she actually she suddenly cannot see what she's seeing, and she's seeing.
But
through
it's like psychic,
POV,
right?
Yeah, through the POV of the killer.
Yeah.
So there is a weird fantasy element to it. Yeah, it's fun.
I love that movie. I think I made a really great choice. And you're welcome.
Okay.
Very cool.
Well,
All right.
it is
All right,
time
Rick
for our
Overton.
guest. Rick Overton is now looking at
He's
the
looking
wide
carefully.
selection of books.
Running his
that
fingers
we
along
have.
the spine.
Well, don't.
He's
yeah,
picking out the King James Bible for some reason.
What are you picking?
He is picking.
And he is picking
from
Cyborgs,
Cyborgs.
Santa Claus, and Satan.
Oh. I don't
It's
know.
TV
that word.
movies.
TV movies. And
Now you have to just pick.
Rick has.
You're already
opened-
cheating.
Yeah.
Oh, my hand's on this one. Last
Okay.
exit to Earth.
Ooh, what's
What
that?
is that?
Exit to
Yeah,
Earth.
last exit to Earth. My fingers are on this one, and it's cast as Eve Emberly Greist. Costas Mandalore.
Oh, Kim Graced from from Brazil.
This is really small print, boys. I'm having a very hard time with this.
And it's the longest blurb in the world.
Fuck me. Okay.
Just make up something.
Pregnant woman. They're listening to the whole fucking cast. I can't do it. I won't do it. So. You're gonna have to eat around the Brussels sprouts on that one, boys.
That was enough.
Good. Okay.
Okay, no, I'm looking.
I just want to say I love this game.
I'm looking at the
What do you
IMDb.
think it's about?
No, we're not going to have him say what he
Yeah.
thinks it's about.
He's already closed the book.
But, we have Sean, who's got another reading.
The very short IMDb description is
Thank
Oh,
you.
God bless him. Let him read it.
it is the year 2500.
Okay.
and women are sent back in time to kidnap men to help populate the future.
Hey!
Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
Christ, well,
Not
there you go.
so bad now, is it?
It's a Christmas movie.
In the year 25, if man is still alive.
So what's the
And David Groh from Rhoda is in it.
now what's the date on this?
Who is he in Rhoda?
This is 96.
Joe, her husband.
That was her
96?
husband.
I don't remember Rhoda.
It has the sensibility of like first run of Galactica with, you're
yeah.
a pleasure unit woman, you know.
Yeah,
things
maybe.
like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, do that now.
Yeah,
Good luck.
no, like the one thing that we finally have time travel, and of course, what are women going to do with it? Go back and get some men.
Yeah. This looks like it was. This looks like it was a Showtime film.
Something from a certain time.
Right.
Let's
So it
be
was,
clear.
it was
Yeah, well,
Showtime.
I don't
and,
think it was written by women.
No. Yeah, it was like if you can't get Russ Meyer, you get the director of this film.
Oh, and it was directed by Kat Shea. And Kat Shea was she came from Roger Corman's school of
So it
upcoming
was a
filmmaker.
female director?
It was because she directed.
How do you like that?
She directed the excellent Stripped to Kill. If you ever saw that,
Okay, no, that was much better.
it is a good movie.
Yeah.
And Streets. So she directed a lot of exploitation films like in the 90s out of
Wow, we
Roger
take it all
Corman.
back, Kat.
Yeah, so
We're sorry.
So there, there you go.
We did not mean to mock your talents.
Yeah, I have not.
You know,
I have
we'll-
not
we'll-
seen
I want to
this
see
film.
this now.
Last
We'll-
Exit to Earth.
We'll get her on the show to explain.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was great, Rick. Nice job.
All right.
Hey, Sean, you want to?
Can you make it in microfiche next time? Micro dot.
Braille.
All right. So, Sean, why don't you pick
okay,
a book?
I will pick.
Just pick the top one, for God's sake.
No, I'll pick the horror films from the 70s, which is kind of like in the middle there.
Horror films
Yeah.
of the 1970s.
70s, one of my favorite decades of all time.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah?
here we go. I'm flipping now. And I picked. Daughters of Darkness.
Hey.
1971. This is this is with some people. No, this is is it a not
So, can none of us read these books?
it's a
This
huge,
is sad.
it's 2 pages.
This is pathetic.
But,
You brought this book.
No, this is a classic.
Which is a good book for the next round? The easy one.
Find the one with the large printing.
This is a classic. No, this is a classic.
one.
A classic erotic European vampire film with John Carlin from Dark Shadows,
Oh, yeah, he's good.
Delphine Seyrig as the Countess Elizabeth Báthory, Danielle Ouimet as Valerie. It's like this vacation couple who are in
Elizabeth
Europe.
Bathory, who
It's like Elizabeth Bathory kind of story where
bathe in the blood of virgins,
Right,
to keep
this-
young, like Countess Dracula,
right
Hammer film.
John Carlin and his new wife go to stay at this hotel
His new
in
wife?
Europe.
Right?
And they're,
The movie starts with him going, "Man, I'm glad I got rid of her."
yeah, but they're seduced by the Countess and her like live-in female lover, and it's actually a really good film. It's really well done. It's like this kind of cool
It's cool. It's spooky.
triangle, really love kind of triangle, it's really well done. It's a very kind of influential film from 1971 that really one of the first of the erotic, vampire movies of the 70s. It's really good. It's
So
really worth
what
checking
makes
out.
it erotic? Is there nudity?
Yeah, there's lots of nudity. It's like a lot of sex and nudity. It's,
Sex and nudity.
Yeah.
So the Daughters of Darkness.
Daughters of
How about
Darkness.
for the ladies? Does John
1971,
Carlin
I
show a
think
little
John-
tackle?
I think so. Yeah, he does.
Does he show
Yeah.
at least one ball?
Were they showing tackle then?
Some movies. Not too often,
Just
though.
to read a little bit of the blurb here, it says Harry Kumel's Daughters of Darkness is a kinky erotic horror film, the genre equivalent of 9.5 Weeks, only smarter, more honest, and more provocative.
Ooh.
So there you go.
I mean,
Sean's reading this
wait,
with his card magnifier.
Now, nine and a half weeks though was a pretty smart film though. It was a pretty sophisticated. Come on, I mean,
Yeah,
this is
but
this
but
one.
it didn't have vampires in it.
No, that is
So,
true.
Yeah, and this was like 2 decades before that movie. So yeah, no, this is a good movie.
Ahead of its time.
I have it on Blu-ray.
Of course.
So check it out.
All right. well-
Blu-ray owes a lot to you.
All right. Well, just to make things a little easier here, I'm going to go again from John Stanley's Creature Features movie guide. Strikes again.
All right.
Go, opening. And
Is that a bat? Ooh, scary.
Born in Flames from 1982.
Alternate title, Owl.
Writer director Lizzie Borden takes an axe and gives our society 40 whacks in this political satire set in the future when the U.S. government becomes a one-party system.
Ripped from
And
the front page.
And
Too soon.
Hey, can I read my blurb? Can I read my blurb,
Go ahead.
please?
God forbid somebody has fun.
So, a one-party system and extremist women spearhead a revolution.
Okay.
Now, maybe
I
this is
like that.
and maybe it's not such a bad thing.
No.
Yeah, and
I like this.
You're gonna like this, James.
Do they get men from the past?
Can I? Well, perhaps if I could finish reading. Music by the Bloods and Red Crayolas. Do you know that,
Bloods?
James? Do you know that, James?
Though I've not heard of the Bloods and the Red Crayolas, but Lizzie Borden was sort of an underground filmmaker. I
Yes.
remember from the early '80s.
Right.
Yeah.
Another one I haven't seen though. I've not seen this.
No,
Have you
don't have it
seen
on
any
Blu-ray?
Lizzie Borden
I
films?
don't.
This is the first time I've actually heard of her.
Well, same here from 1982, and I've learned something.
Yeah, but in 1982, 40 whacks meant something else entirely.
I can do it in 3.
I don't know about you, but I'm from the grand summer of '82. E.T. Poltergeist. So I missed out on this here, Born in Flames. So
No, that was my freshman.
know
No,
about
did you say bored in flames? That was the review. It's like Spinal Tap, shit sandwich.
What's the worst reviews you could possibly
No,
do?
and with all due respect to writer-director Lizzie Borden, I have not seen Born in Flames.
Okay.
From 1982, but it sounds interesting. So I may check
Yeah,
this
sounds
out.
interesting. And of course, John Stanley has to put in his little witty takes an axe to the horror genre, whatever.
That is clever. That is clever.
Yeah,
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Okay. So
Honey, what do you think of this review? Here, look. Did I overdo it again, honey? Be straight up with me now, darling. I
John-
rely on your sense of humor for all
John,
of this.
it's a little on the nose.
Yeah. Oh, the kids love it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, that was great,
Come
James.
to bed.
It is now in your lap.
Larry, I will borrow your Creature Features movie.
I think I'm seeing a a trend here.
All right, let's see.
Well, eventually, I'd love to eventually get John Stanley on the show one day.
Me too.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
so James has opened the book.
From 1986, The Magic Toy Shop.
Wait, I should know this one.
don't know this
From
one either.
'86, The Magic Toy Shop?
This British adaptation of Angela Carter's
Foreign film.
maturation novel
They don't even speak our language.
is for a specialized audience appreciative of the Englishness of its idiosyncrasies.
Okay, that's a really crappy summation.
Okay, because here's the thing. I mean, are the toys, are they like tin toys, little toy soldiers? Are they like battery up? See, because they weren't really known
Really,
for
that's
the-
your problem.
Well,
so
if
far
it's little
with this.
tin, if it's little tin,
This film requires you to bring much of your own childhood to its theme so you can relate to Melanie, 15, who's sent to London to live with an uncle after her parents are killed. The uncle, who has a supernatural power to make toys move, maintains a dictatorial spell over his family and begins a metaphorical rape of Melanie. The character...
Whoa, what?
Wow.
The characters are warm, except for the uncle,
Yeah, put the kids in the other room.
essayed with brooding psychosis by Tom Bell. Carter adapted her own novel without making it mawkish. There's always a hard edge to this urban fairy tale.
Sounds interesting. I have not seen this one either.
Caroline, it stars Caroline Milmo, Killian McKenna, directed by David Wheatley. 1986, The Magic Toy Shop.
See,
I wanna see this
See,
now.
I don't. I'm on the
Misleading
I'm on the
title.
fence.
Yeah.
You had me until you got to rape. You know?
Metaphorical rape.
It's metaphorical. It's fine.
Oracle.
Metaphorical's fine.
Well, that was fun.
Wow,
Well,
interesting.
that was again. We brought up another title that I am
Yes,
not
for all the
familiar
movies
with.
the
that
panel.
we've all seen.
It's funny because
combined.
the last time we did this, we were like throwing out titles. I had seen a lot of these films,
Yeah, so-
but on
yeah,
this,
this one, yeah,
this
this
round,
was- yeah.
we're picking
I
some
like it.
strange ones.
Yeah.
very interesting. All right, Matt.
All right, so I'm actually going to pick something from one of the more successful books.
Oh.
And nothing with the page-long descriptions. I'm going to try the Psychotronic Video Guide.
Hey,
This is Michael Weldon's follow-up to the
Yes,
original
that's right.
Encyclopedia.
Michael Weldon.
As John Waters, friend of the show, says, an amazingly knowledgeable Encyclopedia Britannica for film fanatics with a great sense of humor. How do you
Awesome.
like that?
Oh.
Okay, here you go.
Here we go.
And boom. The Indian Scarf.
The Indian Scarf.
I'm going to pick another.
That's right. What?
Here it is. It's 1963, German. A black-gloved mystery man kills off people trapped in a castle for the reading of a will. Heinz Drach is the attorney. Klaus Kinski
Oh,
is Peter Ross. Terrorizes women with lit cigarettes and a tarantula. Okay.
Ooh.
With Elizabeth Flickenstield and Addie Berber. It's based on Edgar Wallace's The Case of the Frightened Lady.
Oh yeah, Edgar
which
Wallace
had been a play and was previously filmed in 1932 and 1940 in England. This version went directly to TV in the U.S.
Edgar Wallace was a very successful writer in the 30s and 40s and the 50s, and he wrote a lot of thrillers. And German production companies made a bunch of movies with him, and they were called Krimis, or Krimi, which was like German murder thrillers, kind of like the German equivalent to a giallo in some ways. And
really?
they made
Okay.
tons of movies in the 60s that were all German productions. And they all had horror elements to them. Klaus Kinski was in a lot of them, and it's actually a really cool genre. Like there's a lot of Edgar Wallace. Like look up Edgar Wallace. There's tons of Edgar Wallace mystery films.
Had you ever heard of this film before?
Not this one, but I have several.
Sounds kind of
yeah,
good.
I have several.
And Klaus
Krimis.
Kinski is always great
Yeah.
in being a weirdo.
Yeah, no, he's great. They're really in the height of their popularity. They're very really moody, atmospheric, black and white murder thrillers, and they're really fun. Yeah, you can. It's not very well represented here in the States. It's like on DVD or Blu-ray. There's not too many, but they're worth checking out. Yeah, it's cool.
You think
Indian Scarf.
The Indian Scarf. Now, maybe YouTube
Yeah,
for some of these.
Yeah,
Because there's a
possibly.
lot of things that I find on YouTube that are not available in any other form.
Right. Yeah, but if you look up like the Krimi, Krimi, and there's a whole it's a whole other genre.
Go, ladies and
It's
gentlemen,
really
the
cool.
great
Cool.
Shawn Sheridan.
I
cool.
tell you.
There
There
you
you
go.
go. Always impresses me.
Yeah, that's why he's got this job.
This non-paying job. It
Okay.
actually costs some money.
But we get a lot of we get some
Wow.
booze, some adulation. Come on. We got some free gifts sent our way.
I think this is the last episode. I really feel that. Yeah.
Okay,
And you were here, Rick.
Well, Rick, and now that Matt has done his book, why don't you pick a book?
The same damn book. short blurb.
Yeah,
book is what I'm
they're pretty
picking
short
right now.
blurbs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And to
Watch him go. Watch him go to the longest one. Of the book.
It's my luck today. I don't know. That last one was a beauty, but
Okay, here we go.
hot moves.
Hot moves?
Hot moves is where my finger landed.
Yeah. And it's a short blurb too.
An overweight virgin uses a telescope to watch girls on the beach in another Animal House copy.
Nice.
He sees Jill Sholin,
Oh yeah.
Oh, Jill
Sure. She's a
Sholin.
screen queen.
Gabrielle, and Deborah Richter. Oh, Deborah Richter. Well, what do you know?
Who invented the Richter scale?
That's right.
No.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Wasn't that
That's
for
true.
Tan?
No, that's true.
Remember
So
Tan
don't listen to Larry.
Lines?
Yeah,
All right, sure.
yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
well, see that
You know
that
what?
falls under exploitation, which the Psychotronic books also cover.
It's the first
No.
movie that I wholeheartedly want to see.
No, wait,
Yeah,
Rick,
I'm
can you
serious.
tell me what year is it?
84.
Okay, you want to know something funny? I was working.
Please.
I was working at a movie theater that was showing this film.
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Was
I
there
remem-
like a lot of nudity in it?
Well, I don't remember exactly. But I
Wow,
remember
you
there were
saw
a lot of
every single screening,
no,
didn't you?
No.
Yeah.
But I
don't
remember. No, because I was kind of a film snob.
I was a film snob.
No, come on. No, it's like they didn't sell a lot of tickets, and there's always the same kind of hooligans that would go
Hooligan.
that would go in
Hooligan.
to see it, and
Do you realize
what
nowadays, if you show any of that stuff, a guy looking through a peephole into a shower,
Yeah.
what would happen to that movie now?
Yeah.
Oh,
I know,
yeah.
I know. Back
Sensibility?
then, everything was so refreshingly politically incorrect.
You know what I watched not long ago
Or
was
incorrect.
I would
Revenge
not
of the
touch that
Nerds.
thing with a-
Oh yeah.
Revenge of the Nerds. There's so many terrible things in that movie that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Even John Hughes movies like 16 Candles.
Oh, terrible.
Molly Ringwald said she showed her kid 16 Candles, but she had to explain it to her that it was of its time and you can't get away with
Right,
that
right.
stuff now.
Yeah, no, you can't just give your girlfriend away to another guy.
Yeah.
Right.
And then that girl somehow falls in love with you. It
But
doesn't-
back then,
yeah.
that was what we all went to see as teenagers,
Well, some of us did. I mean, as great as 16
Oh, here we
Candles
go.
was,
All right,
I don't know if
Orson
it
Welles.
necessarily belongs in this category.
And some of us went to see Mac and Me.
That's right.
Okay, but okay, yeah. That's all that. No, let me tell you something. But if I remember correctly, okay. If you could stop laughing for a moment, if I remember correctly, it had an alien in it, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
It had nothing to do with doing like racist stuff and
No,
girls'
racist.
underwear.
Wait,
and
how did we get to
16
racist?
candles.
Oh, no, you're right. No, you're right.
Oh,
You're right.
oh, now I'm right. Oh.
Hey, you don't want me to tell you when you're right?
No, I do.
Wow.
But it's like, don't, you just jumped on my throat.
But I see. You're right. No, that movie is unforgivable in its racial.
And don't get me wrong, I love Molly Ringwald, know, and that movie has its moments, but still, I think we should move on to.
I'm so uncomfortable with
Wow.
this.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I
okay.
believe it's Shawn Sheridan's
All right.
turn.
All right, Sean.
This time I'm picking horror
moves, too.
Horror films of the 80s, which is on the bottom. Which is the bottom right there. That's right.
By the way, nice job, Rick. That was a very good one.
From-
You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
it was really,
Yeah.
doesn't really fit in the category, but hey,
No,
I
it
like- I
does.
like
It does.
What's it doing in the
You know
book?
what, though?
Yeah,
You know what though? It does, because the director of Hot Moves was Jim Sotos, who directed a slasher film called Sweet 16.
Ah,
there you go.
See?
Okay.
Wrong.
Okay.
Why don't you make some more enemies?
I stand corrected. Okay.
Okay.
All
right.
we share information with each other.
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, this is
Okay.
a horror films of the 1980s by John Kenneth Muir, who also did the 70s book here. Here we go.
He is-
I'm flipping.
Yeah.
I'm landing on Ghost Story.
Ghost Story. Oh, that has a lot of great
1981.
people in it. Yes.
Ghost Story is a film that I didn't like too much the first time I saw it, but I've come to appreciate it more now.
It has some neat effects in it, though.
Yeah.
It's in color.
And
And
it
it's the
has
first
a
time
lot.
Disney showed so much nudity, and I never
my
saw a
gosh.
Disney thing show all that stuff before.
Alice Krieg. That's the first time I saw her in a film, and she's a very sexy ghost.
But there's a lot of great talent in that film.
Well,
Yeah, so Fred Astaire.
Craig Watson.
These older these guys who are now they're elderly guys now, but like back in the 40s or 30s, they were all good friends. It was Fred Astaire, Melvin Douglas, John Huseman, John Heisman,
John Heisman.
Van Heusen's.
and Douglas Fairbanks Jr. And they all kind of have this like terrible secret from their past involved the death of this woman, and they tell each other ghost stories to kind of like just kind of keep themselves sane and kind of keep their inner demons away. But the ghost of this wronged woman starts to kind of haunt them.
Right.
And Craig Watson is like I think the nephew or the son of one of them, and he starts to get haunted too by this ghost played by Alice Krieg. And it's based on a book by Peter Straub,
Who was not that great of a writer.
I never read the book, but
Right? Am I right?
Yeah, it was hard to get through.
was it just because it was like why?
I don't know. I tried reading it.
Laborious.
I mean, it was a hugely successful paperback. And,
okay.
But he was also contemporary of Stephen King, and King was a big supporter of his.
Okay.
And they collaborated on The Talisman.
Oh, right,
And then
right.
Black House later, the sequel.
Right.
King actually paid homage to Ghost Story in a novella called The Breathing Method that was in different seasons.
Oh, okay.
And it was the only
yeah.
it was the only book in different seasons that didn't get a screen adaptation. Because
Okay.
the other ones in different seasons were The Body, which was Stand By Me, The Shawshank Redemption, and Apt Pupil, which were all great novels.
It's called the Straub effect.
But Ghost Story, though, it suffers a bit from unevenness. It's a big budget movie with a lot of big stars, and it has some really effective Dick Smith makeup effects.
Yeah.
But it always kind of, I felt that it's trying to always find its balance between like shock, scares, and chilling, kind of more atmospheric mood.
Creating an atmospheric ghost story.
But all the cast is excellent, and it's
kinda
I appreciate
dull.
now. No, but give it another shot. Watch the Blu-ray, which I have.
Stop.
I'm telling you, it's not that bad. Like give it.
It's
give it another
not
chance.
that bad.
No. It's funny.
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
It's not that bad. It
But I
shouldn't be
understood.
bad.
Glowing review.
I understand. That's what it's not that bad. But I remember Cinefantastic magazine. Do you remember magazines? We all got magazine.
Sure, yeah.
They did a whole thing about Ghost Story.
Did they like that?
It was kind of like a
I had that
promote.
copy.
Yeah, it got a great cover of the ghost, and I was so
Covers
excited
are
because
always great.
I loved all those older actors, and maybe it was something like I wanted it to be more than what it really was.
Right.
I remember being so
Yeah,
excited
yeah.
to see all of these guys. Dick Smith, the guy who created the effects from The Exorcist,
Sure,
it
yeah.
seemed like it had
Yeah, there's some
everything
really
to
good
make it cool.
effects.
It's not.
I did
quite,
like the effects.
It's not quite like The Haunting or The Legend of Hell House. It's not.
But
like
doesn't
those-
that tell you, though, that you should put Dick Smith on something else? For a good ghost story, you don't need all that stuff. When you think about all the greatest ghost story movies,
But I
they
have to
have
admit,
very
yeah.
few horrific effects.
But
It's
that's
like-
why I think this was early '80s, so they're trying to compete with the now more graphic horror films. But
Jason
they
and all
shouldn't
the
have.
other the monster slasher stuff. They had a market they had to try
Right.
and draw
Yeah.
away.
It had to be
I read
yeah.
about that.
But it's for nobody, so you end up getting a film that's really for nobody.
the corpse ghost in it is really effective.
Yeah,
I have to
yeah.
admit.
And they
It
put
really
the
is.
headliner effect in the early middle of the film.
Yeah.
When she
And,
spins her face around, the
Yeah,
thread goes up.
yeah.
That's kind of the big effect of the entire film.
Lawrence D. Cohen adapted the screenplay.
Right,
Who wrote
right.
Carrie, right? And it's also a really good score by Philip Sardé.
Right.
Yeah, really
and that
good.
was the first big score he did for Hollywood after Tess, for which he was nominated for an Oscar. He was a great composer.
Yeah. So anyway, I say give it another shot. It's not that bad.
Oh, wow. Glowing review from Shawn Sheridan. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go with something.
I say, get that soundtrack, put it on, make your wife dinner, and breathe life back into that relationship.
Can you hand me the dinosaur one down there?
Let me guess. It's in the cellar.
Watch all these books. Don't let them drop.
So now Matt is
I'm trying to. Oh, yeah, I see it.
There we go.
I got it. Okay, here we go.
This,
All right, this is
I have this.
The Dinosaur Movie Guide by
Stephen Jones.
Right, he did several of these.
Introduction
Really
by Ray Harryhausen. Cool. And I believe there is on the cover is the Tyrannosaurus Rex from Carnosaur.
It is.
Yes.
That's right.
How about that?
It's funny that that's the one that they put on.
Harvey Korman's Carnosaur. I thought it was going to be,
Harvey Korman. That I want to see.
Korman, right?
That I want to see.
Carnosaur.
It was a character he did on the Carol Burnett show.
Art Carnosaur. Norton, don't sneak up on me like that. Hey, Ralphie, you look delicious.
Moms can't reach you.
Well, I have seen this film, and I have kind of a love-hate relationship
What
with
is
it.
it?
But it's from 1958, directed by Roger Corman, The Wasp Woman.
Oh, yeah. I like that one. We've talked about that one before.
Susan Cabot.
That's a stretch for dinosaur,
Anthony
though, isn't it?
Isley.
I'm kind
Yeah,
of
what is that?
wondering-
Oh, yeah, you're right. Why is that?
It says the first movie from producer-director Corman's own film group company, shot in 6 days.
On a
It's
tear.
a long time.
Get this, guys, in 6 days for just $50,000.
Wow.
Cabot plays Janice Starlin, the wealthy head of a cosmetics firm who uses a serum made from wasp enzymes to reverse the effects of aging.
Not from dinosaurs, from wasps.
no.
Believe me, I've tried it. Nothing.
Now, and although the serum works, every night Starlin turns into an unconvincing wasp woman.
It is kind of
and
unconvincing.
kills her victims for their blood.
Now, wait a minute. By wasp woman, you don't just mean someone in tennis gear, right? Getting out of a Mercedes SUV to Whole Foods.
or dressed like the 80s metal band Wasp.
Right.
Now, get this. What I did not know, it says original TV prints included 11 minutes of extra footage shot by Jack Hill. Now, this I did not know.
Yeah, because the films are so short, they're like barely
Right.
over an hour.
Barely
so when
over
they
an
show them
hour.
on television, they
Yeah.
shot some extra scenes. Yes.
Oh, my God.
How much later?
They also did that for Beast from Haunted Cave.
Yeah.
Same thing.
No, because I've seen this. I remember thinking to myself, gosh, if only they made the wasp. I wanted her to have like a big, thorax, or a big abdomen.
It was like a fright mask and some.
Yeah, I mean, there's still some creepy things about it, also because it's shot in black and white. I would have liked to have seen her like crawl on the wall, but look, if you guys are shooting something in 6 days, I mean, I guess
Corman would have just laughed you out of his office.
I know, it's like so.
How about a big thorax? Really?
Okay. So Roger.
Hey, we got Mr. Thorax over here.
So Roger, what I want to do is I want to have like a wire and have her like climb the wall. And he goes, wire.
You're a funny kid. You're a funny kid. I like you.
No, she's going to stand there and we're going to play theremin music. She's just going to fucking stand there.
I am going to say this as like one of those
Library theremin music.
as one of those classic B films. It's a B.
Yeah, no, it's a fun one.
Yeah. It's fun.
And not only do I have the Blu-ray of Wasp Woman, I also have the Distinctive Dummies figure.
Oh,
So there.
Wow. Shawn Sheridan, you are blowing my mind tonight. Blowing my mind.
You need help. I used to think it was just Larry, but I think it's you too now.
James Gonis.
All right.
It's now your turn.
Okay. You know what? I'll do Encyclopedia of Horror Movies again. The black one there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's heavy.
All right. Here we go.
Round
and round and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows.
Oh, okay. From Hammer, Dracula, Prince of Darkness.
Did we do that one?
Wait a minute.
Did
No, wait a minute. No, we did. Last time we did Dracula Has Risen from the Grave.
That's right. Okay.
Okay, all right.
So wait, what's this one?
This is Dracula, Prince of Darkness from 1965.
And isn't this the one where...
68 is Dracula Has Risen from the Grave.
Yes, right. Mm-hmm. Is this the one where Christopher Lee finally returns?
I believe
Yes.
so, yes.
Yes. He is in this one.
After Brides of Dracula.
And then
right,
and they
with
did a
David
couple
Peel.
other, and they did Kiss of the Vampire, I think, was during that
Right,
time.
right.
But initially, Christopher Lee did not want to return to the role of Dracula.
Right.
Then his wallet said something else, and he returned.
It says this return to his most famous role was greeted with mixed feelings, largely because Terence Fisher, the director, opted for an unsettling combination of graphically gruesome violence and lusciously poetic atmosphere, which gives the movie a sense of stylish formalism and invites an appreciation of the way the story is told, rather than taking the more direct, innocent approach of Dracula.
No, don't. It
Well,
doesn't this make you want to see it?
But this was Hammer at its peak. I mean, this was like,
And don't you want to see
65.
something different?
Yeah,
Right,
well,
right.
we want to see all the blood.
Yeah.
You know,
This is,
we wanna
Barbara-
see
I
it.
really, this is one of my favorites.
yeah, it's
actually.
Barbara Shelley, Andrew
Shelley.
Keir.
Barbara Shelley
Right, and
is so
Suzanne
good
Farmer, yeah.
at being freaked out from
Yeah.
the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And she's like telling everybody, it's kind of like Fire in the Sky. She's telling everybody something bad is about to happen,
Is this
and
the
nobody
one-
listens to her.
Is this the one where he's on the ice and they crack the ice in the water because a vampire can't pass running water? He's like on the ice bed. It's like a frozen,
I know
frozen moat.
I get this one and Risen from the Grave confused
Mixed up.
sometimes.
Yeah,
because
I
I
remember.
thought, what's the in Taste the Blood of Dracula?
That's the modern one.
But it's not that modern yet. It's
I mean, it
still
takes
before
place in modern
Scars.
times.
No.
Isn't Taste the Blood of Dracula?
No.
That's where they drink.
Period.
They drink.
But
no,
that's not modern.
No, but I mean, it takes place in the 70s.
No,
the guys drink
the only
blood.
one that takes place in the 70s is 1970. And then it's
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
Satanic Rites of Dracula.
well, that's no. What I'm going to say is
Yeah.
that's the first one, and then Satanic Rites, and then it's done. But there's no other.
okay.
Yeah, 70s one.
but they're all cool.
Shawn Sheridan.
Wow.
You know, I put you on a pedestal,
But
and then this is what you do to me.
What's the one with the guys the older guys are trying to get new thrills by
That's Taste the
drinking
Blood of
blood-
Dracula.
yeah.
and that's
it's
period.
Yes.
Oh, for some reason
Yeah.
I thought that was
and Ralph
okay.
Bates is
Ralph
the
Bates, yeah,
crazy
right.
Satanist.
No, I know
who
that. Yeah, for
arranges
some
it.
reason I thought that was also contemporary.
Do you have that
For
on
the
Blu?
time.
Do you have that on Blu-ray?
No, apparently not. Yeah. In fact, I don't think he's ever
I have
seen the
to
movie.
watch that one again. It's been a while.
He's heard me describe it just now.
Well, James, that was a good one. I like that
right,
one. Nice
cool.
job, buddy.
All right.
Matt,
Okay, here we go. You know what I want? I want the John Stanley. I want him.
Wow.
I want him to say something rude about something I like. Here we go.
but actually, I've been impressed. He hasn't really been
So
too
far,
snarky.
so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has. See, I knew he wasn't snarky on everything.
Okay, here we go, and boom. Firehead.
Firehead.
This is what it says. Firehead.
Okay.
1990.
Oh.
The only interesting feature about this espionage thriller with light fantastic overtones is the pleasant appearance of Chris Lemmon, son of Jack Lemmon, who acts and sounds like his famous father. Boy, this doesn't sound so good. Thus giving this dreary piece a touch of comedy. He portrays a scientist called on by government guy Christopher Plummer to track down Russian defector Ivan, Brett Porter, a Dolph Lundgren type, this is what he says, who has the power to shoot lasers from his electrified eyeballs.
That sounds awesome.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Okay,
I just got better.
Suddenly I'm in.
You know, Matt, as you were explaining, I'm all, you know what? I don't want to see this until you said
Right,
the
right, no,
eyeballs.
no,
And I'm like, ooh, I
com-
want to see this now.
Yeah, they should open with that. like
Absolutely.
the blurb.
I'm with you.
Let's see. Helping out is a sexy spy, Gretchen Becker. Body beautiful with great gams.
He does not say that.
He does say that. He does. John Stanley. What? John
I
Stanley.
love John Stanley.
Great gams.
Come on, that's something I would say.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, she's a hotsy totsy. Wow. She's a bit of hot cha cha.
That's
She's a
great.
skillio. Wow, 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 wow.
So this is called Firehead
Firehead.
from 1990.
And he says, plotting to take over the planet, meanwhile, is the Upper Order with a parabolic phase shifter designed to knock out Ivan's superpowers.
Wow.
I must see this.
See, this
now.
sounds, it's getting better and better. Rick, have
And-
you seen this?
No.
You have it on Blu-ray,
You have
right?
Blu-ray,
we
right?
No, I don't.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow. Well, I've
gotta check
that one
I've
out.
written this
I'm
down. I have to
completely
see
in.
this.
Yeah.
When we do Revenge, I will have seen it. I'm going to say, oh, that Firehead.
Oh,
And-
you haven't seen Firehead?
And that gal, great gams.
Oh, if you like a good gam movie.
But Christopher Plummer, you know, he's thinking, well, I went from Sound of Music to Firehead.
Star Crash.
All
Car
right.
crash.
All right. So now Rick is back in your corner.
He's doing the
Illustrated
dinosaur
dinosaur movie guy.
movie.
All right. Here we go. He is paging through. He is chosen.
Oh.
Oh, he's excited.
La nave de los monstruos.
Oh, is that
Mexico.
ship of monsters?
Yeah, nave, ship of monsters. Yeah.
Wait,
a good
so it's a
one.
foreign film?
It's Mexican.
Is this book
1959.
written in Spanish?
That's Rogelio A. Gonzalez is the director.
He's good.
Which with Emilio Gonzalez Pereiro, as I guess with the cast, and Bertha Lepe, Lorena Velasquez.
Lorena Velasquez was a big movie star in Mexico.
Right on. I'm still a Cantinflas fan. No, I love Cantinflas.
So
I think he's great.
what
He's
happens-
actually awesome. He's a great comedian.
So what
He was
happens
great.
in this film?
Well, yeah, give us the blurb.
Yeah.
A science fiction western musical comedy.
That's right. It's
Are
true.
you kidding? A science fiction western comedy?
Yes.
Musical.
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 With Cowboy Pereiro confronting the inhabitants of a Venusian spacecraft. These include a vampire woman, Velasquez, who can turn into a giant bat, the sexy captain, Lepe, and such monstrous specimens as a hairy dinosaur, a cyclops, a saucer man, and Tor the robot.
Wait a minute. I've seen clips of this.
Yeah, it's
Small
fun.
kids will probably love it.
Meaning us.
Yes.
I do already love it, I
Well,
think.
the robot also shows up in The Robot versus the Aztec Mummy.
That's the same. They use the same suit, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, we got a lot of reusing of suits and parts back.
Yeah.
Now, Sean,
You
is
see
there,
stuff
is there a
always
dubbed
critical.
version, or is this you
I
know?
think, as far as I know, there's not an official dubbed release of it, but you can get it in Spanish on DVD. And it's a lot of the monster suits are used in the later Santo films. It's actually really fun. It's like they have like a zoo of different monsters from different planets on their spaceship, and they come to Earth to grab humans too. And they're like two very voluptuous Mexican starlets who are playing the Venusian ladies.
Wow.
It's really fun.
I've seen the lobby cards, and they're actually really sexy.
Venus
it's a
needs men.
crazy- Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's really fun actually.
But wait a minute. So it's a musical.
Yeah,
How are the songs?
The male lead is like a singing cowboy, a singing Mexican cowboy, and he's wacky and funny. And
But is it a musical in the sense of like he will suddenly break into song?
yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's pretty
does
amazing.
a mariachi kind of number.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. Somebody should release it officially with a dub version because it's one of the few Mexican horror films from the 60s, 50s that you can't get because a lot of the other
Should
Curse
Rodriguez
of the Doll
remake
people and yes.
I loved his segment of Four Rooms the most by far.
Yeah.
That was the best segment.
Well, Sean, we'll have to give Scream Factory a call.
Yes, actually, in Ship of Monsters, there's actually figures you can get of like the little. There's one creature that kind of looks like one of the Saucer Men from Invasion
Yes,
of the Saucer Men.
yes.
There's a Cyclops.
Yeah.
There's the robot, and there's a couple others, and they all have
What do you mean
different
there
names.
are figures you can get.
I think the company is Sputnik Supplies, and they're like vinyl figures. And I've seen them at like Monsters in Motion, and they're cool little figures.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
like they put out the Brainiac as a figure, as a
okay.
vinyl figure. But they put out several of these monsters from this film also, and it's great.
Isn't it amazing when you listen to Monster Party, the things you can
things that
find
you
out?
learn,
I swear to
yes.
God, I know people are writing this down going, oh my God, I didn't know. I've got to write this down.
Yeah, I've not only not heard of that movie, I have not heard of the figures that are available now.
And that is pretty
that we
amazing
can get now.
because you have a lot of stuff.
But if you look up Ship of Monsters, because you got to check out
Ship of Monsters.
Look at the images in Google. The monsters are they're hilarious.
Well,
They're-
I'm in.
We have
so
to do-
far, most of these I want to see.
We have to do a Mexican horror episode because
Absolutely.
there's so much
Absolutely.
that we haven't seen or it was worth discovering.
yeah.
That's something we're going to have to work on.
All right.
Sean Sheridan, I believe it is your
All
turn,
right.
Mr. Blu-ray.
I will go with.
How about The Legacy of Blood?
I go with Legacy of Blood, which is like a slasher compendium
Legacy of Blood.
Legacy of Blood.
Dun,
By
dun, dun.
by Jim Harper, a comprehensive guide to slasher movies.
Hey.
all right.
Here we go.
Take us away, Jim.
Ooh. One of my favorites. I think we've just talked about this recently. A couple episodes ago. Black Christmas.
Oh!
Yeah.
That was
With Scott Thompson.
Scott Thompson.
Yeah.
Yep.
Olivia Hussey.
Care de Lea.
Julia, Margot Kidder, John Saxon.
It takes place around Christmas.
Directed by the director of Porky's, Bob Clark.
Yeah.
Really
and
good
there's
film.
Early
a
80s?
74.
Yeah.
This is a proto slasher. This is before the slasher boom, before Halloween.
And Sean,
This is
What
creepy
country
ups-
was it shot in?
Canada.
It's a Canadian film.
Yeah. Creepy, obscene caller keeps terrifying.
Well,
Yeah, just like
We're
working a
gonna
little blur here. So Black Christmas is one of the most influential of the pre-Halloween slashers. If Bava's Twitch of the Death Nerve prefigured the rise of the rural slasher, then Bob Clark's Yuletide Thriller set the standard for almost every camper slasher to come. A handful of girls remain behind at their sorority house at the start of Christmas holidays. They begin to receive mysterious phone calls while a maniac appears to be stalking local school children. The heroine, Jess, suspects her boyfriend, who has been acting strangely recently. It's a really good film, really creepy.
Love it.
Great performances all around.
Who
Just
did
great.
the voice again? The
I had read that Nick Mancuso, uncredited, does the voice of like the crazy guy on the phone.
the voice is so creepy.
Yeah.
if I remember, and Scott Thompson was saying how much he watches it at Christmas time. It is
Yeah,
his
it is.
holiday movie.
It's the
It's great. It's
perfect
my
magical
Christmas
Christmas movie. It really is. No, it's really good. Definitely check it out. It's it's one of, like I said, one of the best pre-slasher films. It really did have an influence on the ones to come. Really good.
And Bob Clark also directed A Christmas Story, famously.
Yeah, but
so it's
also people forget that Bob Clark, like, he directed 3 great horror films: Black Christmas, Death Dream, and Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things.
Yeah.
all
Death
good,
Dream
all
is
good
probably
films. Yeah,
up there in one of my favorite
Yeah.
horror films of all time.
Yeah,
It's so
he
good.
did all that.
It's called Death Dream.
Yeah, really good.
And it's about there's a guy who's out in Vietnam and he's fighting, and his mom has this dream of him dying in Vietnam. But she's like so afraid of
She's
him dying.
wishing, yeah.
She's wishing, like, please, please don't die. Please come back, come back. And all of a sudden he shows up.
So it's kind of like the monkey's paw from a Vietnam point of view.
But he's different now.
Yeah. It's
And-
it's
and
really
they-
good.
Conjured him, yeah.
Yeah, and
so
the
good.
guy who plays the kid, I can't remember his name,
It's Richard Backus played Andy.
is Andy.
good.
Is so good. Richard
John
Backus
Marley
is, so
in
great.
it.
Yeah.
John Marley plays his his
it's a
father.
great cast.
Really good. Really
Great
good.
cast. Really nice tone.
Yeah.
and super creepy.
Yeah, and like a really very disturbing chronicle of like a family's disintegration. You know,
Yeah.
it's really just because they start to realize there's something wrong with Andy, and that the mom is like in denial, and the dad can't deal with it, and it's just really good, really good.
And of course, you whatever sort of similarities you could put to a real family going through somebody
coming back,
war,
right, shell shocked from the war. Yeah,
it's,
And no one
it's-
questions it. It just they roll with it.
Yeah, they
right?
just
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's a kind of an integral part of the film too. Is everybody kind of ignoring?
like a dream.
Yeah,
yeah. It's just good.
yeah, really good.
Cool.
So there you go.
All right. Well, I'm going to pick the Encyclopedia of Horror Movies.
Oh.
Yes. There you go. Which has a picture of Jack Nicholson from The Shining on it.
Not familiar.
Cool.
Yes. And this is over 450 illustrations in black and white from the Cobalt Collection, edited by Phil Hardy. Hey, how about that?
Okay.
So I'm going to open this up. Okay. No. This is
Okay, no.
No, this is good. This is good. It's The House on Haunted Hill.
Crying out loud.
Yeah.
Which one?
It's the one
I'm guessing the original.
Yeah, it is the original.
59.
58.
Wow, good.
Efficient,
Good.
considerably
I was a kid, I
boosted
remember seeing
by Vincent Price, sinisterly performance, and quite enjoyable in its old-fashioned horror comedy way. Castle's follow-up to Macabre. That's Macabre's 1958. It has a plot which seems like one of his own promotional gimmicks. An eccentric
Yes.
millionaire, Price, rents an old house, the scene from 7 Murders, so that his wife can throw a haunted house party by offering $10,000. Only $10,000? That's right.
Well,
Isn't
it was
different
different
time, yeah.
$10,000.
$10,000 to anyone who will spend the night there. He attracts 5 guests who are assailed by skeletal apparitions, blood dripping from the ceiling, a witch, a suicide, a severed head, and a vat of acid in the cellar. Plotting Price's death with her lover.
That's why you just got to build. You
I
can't,
love,
don't buy a
yeah,
used place.
I love this movie. though.
You know
It's
what,
so good.
I do too. It's a great William Castle film, and the house, or at least the actual house that they used,
exterior.
yeah, is the
Lloyd Wright
House, top of Glendower.
Oh, yeah,
Top of
okay,
Glendower.
right.
And what's great is for years and years, guys, the house had been crumbling because it was made out of like a special cement, and an organization I guess, was responsible for restoring it, has just been completely restored.
Is that right?
You can
Wow.
drive up
Really?
Glendower. You can't exactly go in. I hear there are tours, but you can actually peek through the fence, and it's identical.
I went to this
Yeah.
not long ago.
That's
Yes,
awesome.
well, yeah,
No, it's
great.
one of my favorite of William Castle's films. It's just so much fun. It's like a great movie to watch on
No,
Halloween.
It's not one of my favorites.
I will say
actually.
there.
I like it, but it's not one of my favorites.
Oh, wow.
I think it's kind of, you kind of know where it's going.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
I find it has a kind of campiness to it, which I love. Vincent Price is so much
He's so
fun.
great,
You got
yeah.
Carol Omart, who's great.
The witch, that one
yeah, that-
figure,
well,
that didn't scare you.
it's
That didn't
not-
make you go, whoa.
No, there's
No, that's-
so many other William Castle films are so much
Wow.
better.
There was a
Surprised.
moment. There was a great
roller skate
moment
witch?
where
and it's
the-
not a witch though. It's
no,
the housekeeper,
it's
but
right.
she looks like a witch.
Exactly.
See, it's
but-
not even a real witch.
Okay.
It's just
scary, though.
Ooh, the housekeeper.
Okay, but that was a scary
And
moment.
the skeleton and the vat of acid
skeleton,
and the
yeah.
severed head.
Look, I like it. I love.
Why do
all
you
William
hate that
Castle-
movie?
What's wrong with you?
You're not my real father. Look, I like the movie, but I just think Castle, he's so much more effective in 13 Ghosts, in The Tingler.
I mean, I
Okay,
love those too.
okay,
but,
well-
13 ghosts.
Okay.
13 ghosts.
Yes. All right, Mr. 13 Ghost. Look, I really like this film.
No, I have 11 more to do.
Ghost roll call.
So this was directed.
Tubby, Annette.
So this was directed and produced by William Castle.
and the skeleton is credited as being played by himself. By the way.
Yes.
Oh,
There you
that's
go.
good.
With Vincent Price,
good.
Carol Omart, Richard Long,
Alicia
Alan Marsh,
Cook.
Alicia Cook, and Carolyn Craig. So it's
And this is a Merjo, right?
And
Yes,
yeah,
this
was a
And I
Merjo.
want to say to listeners, if you go, oh, I'm going to check out this film. Whoa, why is it in color? There was a remake. There was a remake done.
I never saw the remake.
Yeah, and Jeffrey Rush, who came off his Academy Award winning thing, you know, and you know what, he was
Looking for the right script.
Yeah, and well, he wanted to do was like not necessarily Vincent Price impersonation, but I can't really say. I mean, I was really disappointed. I was really bummed.
They
It was
also remade 13 Ghosts too, which I haven't seen.
Yeah.
just go with the
Yeah.
classic. It's a great classic Vincent Price
Yeah, it's
film.
one of his
William
best
Castle.
roles.
It's a fun film. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of
is.
scan through this and go watch The Tingler.
Oh.
Wow.
All right, Mr.
It's all right,
Tingler.
it's
Well,
okay.
Okay.
It's just not-
Okay. Yeah,
Wow.
that's great. Okay. You're done. James, which book would you like to look at?
You know, I'll go with the zombie movie encyclopedia.
Hey, we'd have our book monitor.
Here we go. Here's your book.
Okay.
Here's your book, Mr. Gomez.
All right, what do we got here?
You know,
Like
we don't have to always
Demented Ed
page.
Sullivan?
No, we do.
Okay. Raptors.
Raptors.
Sounds like a 90s movie.
1988, Italy.
Vaguely.
Directed by Claudio Lattanzi.
Oh, yeah, right.
Raptors.
Starring Lara Wendell, Robert Vaughn,
Of course.
Timothy Watt, Leslie Cummins, James Villamare. Italian zombie movies are shot abroad as often as in Italy, and Lattanzi adorns this formula stalker with rich Louisiana swampland scenery and abundant footage of birds. A group of college students from Loyola head down to the bayou to find traces of the near-extinct ivory-billed woodpecker. There they meet blind ornithologist Frederick Brown, Robert Vaughn, who many years prior killed off his family upon returning from Vietnam and then had his eyes plucked out by birds.
Right? I don't know why you're laughing.
The students...
I'm sorry. Come on, you're Mr. Comedy.
and make-
Aren't films
I'm
supposed
Mr.
to
Comedy.
show and not say? But I'm sure on their budget he had to sit and explain the thing. at dinner, right?
The students stop for the night in the abandoned house where a massacre occurred, of course,
Okay.
only to be picked off themselves by freak accidents and isolated zombie attacks.
That's so weird. I'm looking this up.
Zombie birds?
It looks like
Woodpeckers?
the alternate title for this movie, though, was Zombie 5 Killing Birds.
So maybe they are zombie birds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Zombie woodpeckers.
Zombie woodpeckers.
Wow.
You know, can you imagine A zombie Woody Woodpecker?
It's putting Romero and Hitchcock together.
That's right.
The atmospheric film is heavy on images, but light on explanations.
Who needs them?
How'd they get Robert Vaughn for that? Wow.
Oh, I don't know, $20.
Yeah.
Zombie woodpeckers?
Interesting.
Alternate titles: Dark Eyes of the Zombie and Killing Birds.
The Man from Undead.
Nice.
Bada bing.
That's
go.
why you
Well,
get the
actually-
big bucks.
That sounds kind of interesting, actually.
Yeah.
I think I would check
it
that
does.
out.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I got to get the Blu-ray for that one.
All right. I am going to go for this 80s. No. I know what I want the slasher one.
Here you go, right here. Right here. I've been hoarding
You
it.
got it. You're hoarding it. Okay, here we go. Legacy of Blood by Jim Harper. Thanks,
right.
Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks for all you do.
Jim, we want you on the show.
Yes, we do. Okay, this is one called Phantom, spelled with an F, Killer. Phantom Killer.
Phantom Killer from when?
Allegedly a giallo film shot in Poland. This is 1998.
Poland?
Poland. Phantom Killer is primarily an excuse to present naked women being murdered in generally absurd fashions.
These movies are kind of infamous. There's 4 Phantom Killer movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Says the victims are all sexually assaulted in one way or another, occasionally involving kitchen utensils. This has led to accusations of misogyny.
No.
But in fact, it's pretty silly.
Is that what the review
That's what it
says?
says. That's what it says. It's pretty silly.
Wait, like a spatula? Or
And
like
the acting is terrible, so none of it comes across as particularly offensive.
It's family fun.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Chicks just don't get it.
No. We don't want to. No, we're not. Don't want to insult our
I've
female
not seen any of
listeners.
I
these,
think
but I've
our
heard of them.
female listeners know that I didn't really mean that.
Yes, I'm pretty
All
sure.
right, all right.
Okay.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed from episode 1.
Wait, what? Come on. It was just,
So what he goes on to say, unfortunately, none of it comes across as particularly good either. So this is a guy, I like this guy.
So
I like Jim Harper. He says, aside from poor acting, the script is extremely basic. It's obviously supposed to be Argento inspired, but don't expect labyrinthine.
labyrinthian.
How do you say that?
Yeah,
Labyrinthine?
Yeah.
Labyrinthine.
Labyrinthine. Okay, now we've cleared that up.
Labyrinthine.
Plot machinations. The plot, as such, is confined to a few brief scenes of discussion between policemen before we cut to another lengthy murder scene. The special effects are confined to splashes of blood. If the nudity and blood splashes are what you're after, then Phantom Killer doesn't disappoint. This guy's great. I need to get this book, I think. But others might want to stay away. Meaning everyone else.
Right.
Much, if not all, the names on the credits are pseudonyms, and
wow.
rumors abound that Phantom Killer itself is not of Polish origin at all, which would have made it unique among slasher movies, but instead possibly British. And then he goes on to say, yeah, there was a whole bunch of sequels with less blood.
We gotta get Jim on the show.
Yeah, Jim. I like
yeah.
Jim. I like the cut of your jib.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice one, Matt. I don't know. I don't know if I want to see this particular
I'm
one.
not sure. Like,
Sean, do you have
he's
the Blu-ray?
confused
No,
me.
I don't. No.
He's mixed me up. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Like, I can't tell if he's recommending it or not.
I think it's a
Right.
good review. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
he's
Yeah.
saying that this is not good, but if this is your cup
But
of
there
tea,
are elements
well,
that he
hey.
knows fans might like. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds like your cup of tea.
All right. Well, my in-laws are coming this weekend. So,
Phantom Killer
hey,
Marathon.
I've got just the thing.
Well, this has been great.
It has
It's
been.
great. I mean,
once again,
yes. I mean,
it's one of those few times where you're correct.
The funny thing about this is of all these titles that we've picked from these books, unlike the last time we did, a lot of these I have not seen, and we've brought up a lot that I'm really interested. I mean, your last one, Matt, I honestly maybe not so
I
much.
think we're all a little on the fence on that one.
But Firehead. I mean, I'm
I don't
actually
know,
interested in seeing that.
Firehead, I'm intrigued.
But this has been great.
yeah, it has
It's
been.
always
What,
fun.
do you want to do like a lightning round?
Let's do the famous lightning round that is never lightning.
And
Right.
we're going to do it fast. We're going to do
Okay.
it
All right.
speedy.
Read fast.
All right. So I just throw. Oh no, you got a book. You're ready to go.
All right,
Ready to go.
Rick has the
And a
zombie
1 and a 2 and a here we go.
encyclopedia.
Nightlife. It is director Dan Akamba. Cretans chase each other around for 90 minutes in a routine and laborious Living Dead exercise.
Is this Jim Harper?
There's unpopular Archie Melville hopes to leave his one-horse town by working with his uncle Verlin, the crotchety town mortician. A carload of high school bullies die in a wreck and return to life because of a chemical spill or because of the mortuary is hit by lightning or something.
Sometimes they come back.
It's
Yeah, it
something.
sounds like-
Yeah, a little
It's
bit.
mysterious. You're not sure. See, I like it when something is explained like it could be this or it could be that. I like that.
I did not know that you liked that at all.
well,
I thought you liked very clear
Right,
explanation.
you know,
but
like
at least
ambiguity.
it's but at least it's something. It's something. It's not like I don't know
John
what it is.
John Aston's in this too.
Wow. Okay, Sean.
All right, I'm going to pick from the Encyclopedia of Horror Movies.
Oh.
No, which I have over here already.
Oh, thank
God.
God.
All right, here we go. I'm flipping now.
Flip.
Flip fast.
I've picked.
Lightning round.
Ooh, The Undertaker and His Pals. I've heard of this one.
I have not seen this.
Yeah, this is it's kind of like a Herschel Gordon Lewis movie where it's like a kind of like bad taste horror comedy with lots of gore, extremely black
I
comedy.
could be wrong, but I think John Waters likes this movie.
Maybe.
Yeah.
The film's tone perhaps is best summed up by the original poster, which promised a macabre story of two motorcycle-riding, knife-wielding, shiv-shoving, eye-gouging, arm-twisting, chain-lashing, scalpel-flashing, acid-throwing, gun-shooting, bone-breaking, pathological nuts and their pal, The Undertaker. There you go.
I'm in.
19
Do you have it?
65. I do.
You
And
did.
their pal, The Undertaker, from a different marriage.
There we go.
All right, nice one, Sean. Okay, here we go.
Undertaker from another mother taker.
I'm gonna end mine with John Stanley's again, and okay, Dagora, the space monster. It's from 1963. Now we've seen this. It's a kaiju film.
One of the strangest films
it is.
ever.
It's maybe not be the best, but it's like his description here is out of the depths of the Pacific. It undulates, a quivering mass of octopod mutation, jelly jiggling across the land to turn cities into seaweed-stained rubble. The monstrous absorbs diamonds, so why isn't it after Mae West?
What?
That's what he
Because
says.
they're jewelry.
That's a bad joke.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's Mae
well,
West diamond.
Japanese
Oh, no,
monster,
it's John Stanley. Okay,
John Stanley,
okay,
correct.
okay.
Japanese monster sci-fi directed by Ishiro Honda. Yeah.
No, this was a strange mixture
It
of like crime, melodrama, and monster movie. But I kind of like it though. It's
I
weird.
like it a lot.
I do like this despite its shortcomings.
Yeah,
It's not
different.
It's not War of the Gargantuas or
No.
Godzilla
No.
vs. Sea
No.
Monster. It's,
There is
you know,
something captivating about that
Yeah.
squid.
Yeah, it's pretty kind of unique monster actually.
You ever notice when they try to make a thing that's for kids, for adults, and they add all these other weird elements of conflicted marriage and other stuff?
Right.
Yes,
Gangsters,
They
yeah.
try to we got to get something for the parents here, guys.
Right.
Give me something for the.
Even Godzilla's Revenge.
Yes. Yes.
The kid is kidnapped.
Yes.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
is.
And it's in like this dirty, grimy city, and it's like,
But it's like, well, these kidnappers are their bullies, and the kid learns from Minya about
Right.
how to, you know,
That's right.
I'm just saying it's
take on
kind of
bullies.
dark.
It is dark. It
Yeah.
is dark, and also Gabara's got that terrible.
I know,
That's
no,
so-
don't
that
even.
would-
No,
no,
I
I-
love that roar. I love that roar.
Well, no,
You know
I meant
what?
terrible as like mean.
Oh, terrible.
Mean,
Okay.
like a mean and
Okay.
nasty,
We're friends
laughing.
again.
Like, I like. Don't get me started.
Yeah, it's mocking. It's like a
Mo-
mocking.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
I
Like
look
that.
at my
It's like
older
the
brother
bully
sometimes
kaiju.
when I,
Is that right?
hear that. Yeah, well,
There should be shouldn't there be a talking toy of that? Gabara.
There should.
Godzilla's Revenge. Have you ever seen this, Rick?
I'm sure you have.
Godzilla's Revenge.
It's the one where it's
It's
almost like an after school special where a kid
Yeah.
fantasizes that he goes to Monster Island.
They used other Godzilla footage from other movies.
It's like one of those episodes where they're all on Gilligan's Island. Remember that one time
Exactly.
Yes,
the professor
yes.
had to
But
make a
it used
radio
to-
from coconut?
It used to be one of my least favorites, but then I have a better appreciation.
I like it.
Yeah, 'cause it's
after
so
when
odd.
John Fasano came on our show, we talked about it and how he said it helped him as a kid take on bullies. He learned learned a lot from that film, and I looked at it from a different perspective. Showed it to my kid, and she loved it. So we had a good time. So I appreciate that film. But that's
The alternate title was actually Godzilla versus the stock footage.
Nice.
I'll go with television.
Slam-
wait. I just want to say that was a joke, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay, because I don't want you to give incorrect
No,
information.
people
No,
gotta
everybody
go on
knows that he's
IMDb
kidding.
looking for television fright films of the 70s.
That's not even here.
No, it is. It's right
you go.
there.
it is. Okay, there you go.
All right.
There you go.
Okay.
There it is.
Wow.
There you go.
Way to
buddy.
do this lightning round here.
Okay, all right. And go. Read.
Satan's School for Girls.
Classic.
Oh no, I don't know this one.
This is a great one.
Yeah.
Do you have it on Blu-ray?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I think on DVD.
From 1973, ABC.
It's Aaron Spelling production.
Aaron Spelling.
It's pretty fun.
And
That's
it
a
was
fun one.
Pamela Franklin.
Fantastic cast.
Pamela Franklin.
Kate Jackson, Lloyd Bach,
Roy Thinnis,
Roy Thinnis, Joe Van Fleet.
Cheryl Ladd, 2 Charlie's Angels.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Sean, do you want to read it from there, or like?
it's kind of a long blurb here in the book.
Of course, because
this
the
is
books
a-
that you brought.
Well, this is a McFarlane book, and they're
Well-
very scholarly and detailed.
In
Yes.
a nutshell, he
We,
say in
we
a
have another
nutshell.
half hour. Read it.
Well, really?
No.
This is the lightning-
In a
No.
nutshell, a young woman investigating her sister's suicide at a private girls' school finds out that she's battling a satanic cult.
Oh,
See, there you go. Yeah.
And this is one of the great horror movies of the 70s, right?
Well, it's a quintessential 70s TV movie
movie,
horror.
yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's you
It's
know,
super fun, though.
Yeah, it's great. It's a good
but
cast.
It's no
silly.
classic.
It's silly, but it has that vibe.
It's a great
Early
cast,
70s.
though.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
really
is it
good.
available?
Yeah. No, it's actually it's one of those where you can get like it's public domain
DVD-R
DVDs
kind of a
all
thing,
over the
or-
place. Yeah,
Aaron
yeah.
Spelling be rolling in his grave right now if he knew that.
They
Not a
remade
dime
it.
coming
They
to him.
remade it in 2000 with Shannon Doherty. I've not seen that one, but it's a remake of it. Yeah.
TV?
Yeah, it was like I think it was TV.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Nice one, James.
All right.
Matt?
Let's give me the John Stanley one. one
Okay,
more
buddy,
time.
bring it home.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
All right. I'm going in.
Good sound effect.
Golden Girl.
Wait.
Susan Anton.
And James Coburn.
Kurt Jurgens subjects daughter Susan Anton to a neo-Nazi experiment to create a super athlete. Okay, I haven't seen this, and I'm gonna stop the show now. Watch it.
We'll leave you alone.
Interesting character study strengthens a routine plot of political intrigue. Directed by Joseph Sargent, James Coburn,
Yep.
Robert Culp,
Wow.
Leslie Caron,
Wow.
Harry Gardino.
Damn.
Wow. Now, for
Of course, you know this. Sean.
Yeah, it's not officially on DVD. I don't think, but I have a.
You have it on
DVD.
no-ray.
Yeah. No, it's like kind of has a TV movie feel to it. It's like Susan Anton is like the perfect superhuman athlete, and she, but she doesn't have an identity, and she's. And yeah, James Coburn, I think he's her manager or something, and Kurt Jurgens is like the doctor trying to make her super perfect, and I mean Susan Anton, at the time was like huge.
well, let's just
Dudley Moore in it
listeners, for listeners, Susan Anton was like a big star. She was like, I mean, beautiful.
She was a supermodel.
She was a super,
Yeah.
and
she was-
very athletic. kind
Yes.
of,
yeah,
Yes.
and she's pretty good in this. I mean,
and she
it's-
did date Dudley,
Dudley
Moore
Moore.
for a while.
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
she? Right.
And it's kind of like a melodrama, and it has like slight sci-fi overtones, but it's kind of fun though. It's like kind of a rare one that I think was always used to be like on basic cable in the early days, but like I don't believe there's been
I've
an
never
official
seen it.
release on it.
I've
Yeah.
never seen it.
Yeah, it's fun if you're in the mood. Not bad.
Okay, I think I'm in the mood. Okay, well that's it then, right?
Yeah.
This
All right.
was fantastic.
that was great.
Rick Overton, you are a delight.
Thank you for
joy,
having me back.
A light in my life. You are a fire in my sky. You are a fire in my head.
I was gonna say you are a
have abducted
Firehead, which is the film I want to see.
Yeah.
Firehead.
Yeah.
Firehead.
You are my golden girl. No, that doesn't work. Okay. All right. Well,
But he's a busy guy.
yeah,
I'm sure he's got a lot going on.
Before we wrap this thing up, what do you got going? Do you have anything we'd like to plug? That the
I'm
people
coming up soon on Adam Ruins Everything.
Ooh, I love that show.
And then Drunk History.
I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
But I don't
You're
know.
on Drunk History?
I am. I can't say when because they don't know where it's going to go. It doesn't have to be in the order you shot it.
Right.
And
That's
so
great.
they're going to find out when is the best time to play it. But they're saying somewhere in the 2019 zone.
Cool.
But I know that the other one, the Adam, is going to be coming up around Thanksgiving.
All right.
All right.
Fantastic.
Cool.
And with that, we thank you once again.
Yeah.
Thanks again,
Thank
fellas.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rick Overton.
Time for listener shout out. We have a new iTunes review from Almost Human 1970
Cool.
from the
Okay.
USA, who says, I have sometimes felt as though I was alone in my interest for monsters and horror and everything related.
You're not alone.
Yeah, I know that
Not.
feeling.
This podcast makes me feel like I'm not alone. And it's
Cool.
great to hear things mentioned that I've loved for so long.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Larry seems a little bit obsessive compulsive sometimes, but it's great. And it reminds me of myself, especially when it comes to my collecting.
Oh, okay.
The whole cast are quick-witted and they make you feel like you're there with them and welcomed. I just wish I could have a drink with them. Cheers.
Wow.
Almost Human 1970.
Yeah. Well,
Thanks.
we're all still alive. It's still a possibility.
Thanks, Almost Human 1970.
Right.
And
He's in the book.
Matt, did you have a listener shout-out in mind?
Why, I do.
What a segue.
First, I would like to give myself a shout out. A little bit of a shout out to myself.
Shout out!
But it's really to a show that I have been working on, which is called Stand Against Evil.
Stand against
I
evil.
worked on season 3. I co-wrote an episode with Dana Gould. But if you're not watching it, you must watch it. It's this season. It's the third season, and it's just so good. And the cast is great. The scripts are great.
Great references. For
Yeah,
Monster
really
Kids.
good. Yeah, for if you're a horror fan, there's
Yeah,
so many
yeah.
little Easter eggs all over that show that you are really going to enjoy this season.
Cool.
And
On IFC.
it's on IFC, yeah. And our neck of the woods, we get them every Wednesday, 7:00. They usually do 2 episodes back to back, so it's 7 and 7:30 Pacific Standard Time.
And each new season usually premieres around Halloween, right?
Yeah.
That's the first one did. Yeah,
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. And I would also like to give a shout out to an old school friend of mine, and he's actually one of the most loyal Monster Party fans. He is a true Monster Partier, and it's my friend Tito Pop.
Tito Pop.
Yeah, he went to the Philippines and he mailed Carrie and I some treats. Little like personalized wallets and things, and
Cool.
some treats and
Like dog biscuits, treats, like
Yeah, well, human snacks.
right. All right, cool.
Yeah, Scooby snacks for humans.
All right.
But Tito, if you're listening, thank you so much.
Yeah, and Tito's very active on our social media too. He's always like,
Yeah,
posts comments on Facebook and stuff like that.
He's
Yeah.
great. He's true blue, and
Yeah,
so thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Tito.
Totally.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And let's remind our listeners, you can also find us on Facebook and on YouTube at Monster Party TV. On Twitter, our handle is at Monster Party HQ. Instagram is also Monster Party HQ. If you're listening to us on iTunes, please take a moment and write a review. Again, we would love to hear from you, and we would probably read it on the show like we just did.
You betcha.
Oh yeah.
And let's remind everyone that you can buy Monster Party merch on our eBay store, which it's called Monster Party Store. Would you believe it? Easy to remember.
Crazy.
the legendary Monster Party cap and
Legendary.
2 variations of the Monster Party t-shirts are available.
Ooh, variation.
2.
Check it out.
And if you do some clever stitching, you can make it a skirt.
Right.
Customize.
Now, James, you're a big beer drinker, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Sean, you like a good beer?
I like beer.
Well, tonight's booze sponsor are the makers of ABK Beer. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Hey, ABK, or the Actian Brewery. Hey, they've been around for over 700 years.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, based in Germany. I mean, and this
okay.
Actian, yes, yeah,
They
Matt.
immortal?
Yeah. No, and check it out. The Actian Brewery, it's dominated the world's beer competitions from the late 1800s. They've won dozens of awards and gold medals. And actually, we had 2 wonderful beers provided to us tonight. We have actually this one I love. It's called Hell.
Hell.
Das Blue.
It's a hell of a beer.
It's a lager beer. Look, this beer, it's lightly golden with a bubbly, medium white head that
It's good.
steadily
Very
shrinks
good.
to a thin, foamy lace. The aroma is soft and sweet with grain and very flowery hops. Matt, you like flowery hops, don't you?
Were you just reading a Twilight novel?
Look, this beer is delicious. The taste is full-bodied grain with lots of green apple and light but persistent hints of pine and herbs with light bitterness that persists through to the finish.
This is the most erotic grape nuts ad.
Okay, no, but that was delicious. We really enjoyed it. But they also make this wonderful rosé. It's like an ultimate summertime refreshment beer. Rosé is a concoction of light ABK beer and organic lemonade brewed on site with 100% natural rose color. I mean, try these wonderful beers. They're absolutely delicious, and they're great for gatherings with family or friends. And
They were good, right?
They're
Yeah,
delicious.
they're really good, yeah.
And so please drink responsibly, but try one. They're delicious. Wonderful beers. ABK beer. Delicious. Wonderful. Anyway, hey, I also want to give a special shout out to Creature Features. Hey! Now, look, Creature Features, they are selling a ton of stuff on eBay. Go to C-Features at eBay. That's their store name. And check out all the great stuff they have. They have signed books and CDs, DVDs. They have toys, Blu-rays, models, statues, and all kinds of stuff to satisfy all your monster needs. And I also want you to give a shout out to Time Tunnel Toys.
Toys.
Located at 1583 Meridian Avenue in San Jose, California, and Joe and Sharon have a spectacular store filled with all kinds of vintage toys and records and comic books
And guidebooks.
Yes, they do. They do, Sean. They have guidebooks. They have all kinds of great stuff, Star Wars figures, Godzilla toys, and they also have the wonderful Keep America Strong, Watch Horror Films painting.
Do they
that
have beer?
You know, they don't have beer. That is the one thing they
collectible
don't
beer
have. They do
from the
have
70s.
You know what they do have? They do have some Jolt Cola though. That is still has never been
That
opened.
really combined
yes.
with beer. could be
Yeah,
good.
so
And they don't make that anymore.
no,
do they?
they don't. But anyway, if you go to timetunneltoys.com or if you go to their store, you can find out information on their San Jose Super Toy Comic and Collectible Show. It's about every 4 months. It's a convention filled with over 200 tables of nothing but antique toys. So go to Time Tunnel Toys and check it out.
Do you guys ever have that situation where you think that a soft drink that used to be around just all the time when you were growing up, you thought it disappeared, like if they went bankrupt or something?
Yes.
And then you
Right,
find
right.
out that like they're still making them in, Peoria.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I thought Fresca was gone. But Fresca's
yeah, still here,
It's
yeah.
still
Yeah.
hanging around.
The
That was one my mom drank a lot.
Yeah.
black cherry citrus fresca is delicious.
Is that so it's like they add that to the
Yeah,
grapefruity?
yeah.
Is it any
Yeah,
good?
yeah, it's good.
Yeah, they're not a sponsor, but okay, let's,
No, we're just talking.
Yeah,
we're just
I know.
people
Fresca.
talking, Larry.
Whereas Tab, I don't know if that's still around or not.
I
Is
think
it?
Tab. No, you're sure?
Well, they brought it back as a sort of a retro thing.
Yeah, but I
but
don't
Tab
know.
essentially became Diet Coke.
Yeah, okay.
Only they took out the saccharin and put in.
Somebody will correct us on this.
Right.
Oh no, you
Yeah.
can still get Tab.
Okay,
No, you
Yeah.
can.
but Jolt Cola is definitely done.
Jolt is gone.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So, it's funny. I actually have from my dad a unopened glass bottle of Jolt Cola from back in the, I guess it's the 80s.
Yeah, I think so.
You would think that it would have eaten through the glass by now.
That's
Yeah,
what you
really.
would think, but that is another item that will stay sealed in its
Well, that
glass.
one
Cool.
should.
Yeah.
Can
that
you
one
imagine
should.
though? I mean, if you open that, first of all, I would.
I'm sure it tastes just as good as it did then.
You know what? I bet it does. It probably
There's
does.
no doubt. There's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
But
doubt.
didn't you drink Jolt Cola? I sure did. Man,
I had it a couple times.
A couple times. Come on. It's like, it's bad for your heart.
because
I
of that.
I drank like 3. I remember I was working on
my God.
I was working on my final.
explains a lot.
No, listen. Yes, it does. It really does. I was working on my senior project for
This is the
college.
animated film?
Yeah, the animated film.
Yeah.
And I did
AFI?
no, this is at San Francisco State.
Oh, okay.
And I did something like a 38-hour nonstop edit session.
Okay, well that makes sense.
And
then.
I I can't tell you how many cans of Jolt Cola
my
I
God.
drank, and you know what? It worked. It all the way to the very end. I'm like, I need it.
You're still
I couldn't-
shaking off the effects.
I
today.
couldn't feel my tongue afterward though.
For,
but
for listeners too young to know, Jolt came out and was supposed to be this great stimulant with all of this caffeine in it.
It was like,
So it was
this
like-
is
it was like a Coca-Cola. It was like a
Red Bull.
cola.
Pre-Red
and in,
Bull, yeah,
in fact,
exactly.
the slogan was twice the sugar and all the caffeine.
Yeah. See, that was my thing. Is that like one of the reasons why I like Coca-Cola more than Pepsi is that Coca-Cola it's a less sugary kind of taste.
And that's why I like Pepsi, because
I know.
I like
know.
the sugar.
I don't see. I don't.
I-
I
I-
like it a little less. It's like a little too syrupy for me.
You don't like the sweetness.
I don't.
That's why I can't give
You're
you chocolate for
anti-sweetness.
Christmas. That's why, you
Yeah,
know,
I
you're
can't.
not. You go candy.
No. I save it until it goes bad.
Like
but
like sweet tarts. Like if you take
does
sweet,
candy ever go bad?
If you take
Yeah.
sweet
Yeah,
tarts loaded with sugar, crush them up, and you kind of like lick them or something, and you just get this candy powder.
What about
Really?
like? What about like?
That's kind of like
do you just take sugar and just pour it into
What
your
about
mouth?
pixie sticks then? Did you
Yeah,
like
it's
pixie
just-
sticks? You must have loved those.
No, because it was too. It didn't have the crunch as much as like a crushed sweet tart or
She
or
always crushed your
Smarties.
sweet tarts?
No, not all. Well, in your mouth.
Well, what was?
And then Smarties.
Oh yeah, I still love Smarties.
Remember
What's a
Bottle
Smartie?
Oh come on!
I love
Bottle
bottle
caps are
caps.
great.
What's
The
bottle
little,
caps
the little
are great.
see-through wrapper that's like in a little roll.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and they're like smaller sweet tarts, but they have like a little
They're
dip
softer
in it.
though too.
they're
They're good though.
delicious.
They
Yeah, I
still
don't
make.
think
They still make
I
those.
think that was something that was not available necessarily. I don't remember.
What?
I don't remember
Did you grow up in
having
the Everglades? What?
I
come
did,
on!
yes,
I mean,
I did.
come on! It was
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
common Halloween candy.
Yeah, I only ate what the Gators brought back,
No,
but I
it was
don't
like-
remember Smarties. I
You-
don't.
I got Smarties at Halloween. Yeah, I wouldn't
yeah.
buy them myself, but they would always end up in the Halloween bag.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, what I do remember, and we might have even talked about this before, but there was the sweet tarts, but then there was one that was like a giant sweet tart, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And it was also
was like
chewy ones too.
Well, the one I remember was like a
Like a
sugar,
saucer, like a giant,
salt lick.
like a plate. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
yeah.
It was
I remember
it was
that. Yeah.
like a hockey puck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are
and you would
good.
lick it.
Yeah.
yes.
And I remember you
It was
would
a
lick
giant
it, and then
one.
all of a sudden you'd start to see red on it because it would,
tongue was
it's like
dissolving.
sanding your tongue down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you're
Yeah. That was
what
part
it
of the
wa-
experience.
It's like the little sensors on your tongue started to like pop out and started to bleed.
Yeah.
Is probably what happened.
But since you're getting the the satisfaction of the sugar high,
Yeah.
it's like you don't even feel the pain. You
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like you all of a sudden there's blood on your candy.
It's like what is it? What's
blood
that?
on your candy. That's a good
yeah,
title.
Mountain Dew mouth. Have you heard about that? Where people
What's
drink
that?
somebody. I've heard somebody told me like you drink so much Mountain Dew that it starts to dissolve your lips or something. Oh
God.
I don't know.
Well, for listeners, it's probably not great to drink a lot of sugary soda, because it can corrode your teeth.
It is
so
fun,
we want to,
though.
and also it's I think good
If this were a
etiquette.
Super Friends episode, this would be that.
Well, I'm just
educational part.
come on. I just think good, brush your teeth etiquette. If you brush your teeth in the morning and in the evening, or maybe if you eat a lot of candy, I think it's okay. And don't forget to floss.
Yeah, no, sugar is not good for you at all. Zero.
True.
Wait,
Yeah.
at all?
Yeah,
A little sugar.
I mean,
no
you
sugar.
You could
no
survive-
refined sugar is good for you.
Yeah.
Like sugar that you find in nature is okay. Like
Yeah, like an apple. or
Yeah.
something, yeah.
Well,
apples are really good for you.
so
Fructose.
so sweet tarts. I can't eat sweet tarts. Is
No.
that
I'm
what
not
you're
saying
saying?
you can't. There's all kinds of things that we do that are not necessarily good for us, but we do them anyway.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay,
hey,
what the
like
hell?
eat a Big Mac, hey, or a
yeah,
Whopper.
yeah.
hey.
You're taking a couple minutes off the life clock.
Right,
You know,
No, it doesn't matter.
your crystal's only going to go to green,
That's right.
but that's okay.
But at least you go happy.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's why I switched over from sweet to meat. I did.
go.
You're a meat man now.
I weaned
went
myself
full
off of
meat.
sugar and got into like
Meat.
anytime the smell of cooking meat is
yeah.
almost like an opiate.
Right.
Like I love that so much.
I like the cooking meat, but
But see, now even
Smarties
that's
and-
bad because now I'm trying to take care of the cholesterol and
Perhaps-
all that, and you can't do
Right.
the
Oh, yeah.
steaks and
eat more chicken.
That's true.
Shrimp?
Chicken,
Yeah.
chicken and fish.
Lean,
Shrimp?
Lean.
Yeah, yeah. I love me a shrimp. James, you love a shrimp.
Oh, yeah. Shellfish.
Yeah.
Any kind.
We
Crustaceans.
we go to Japan, man. We go to
Oh.
that
Hey,
sushi carousel.
We all like shellfish, right?
I
It's
do-
your
I
wife.
do.
It's your wife that doesn't like
No, she doesn't like sushi, but she eats
That's
fish.
it. Now
yeah.
I remember.
But yeah, she eats all kinds of.
And
fish
she
shellfish.
tried it.
Yeah, she's actually.
But
has extra,
I do
yeah.
think that sushi though is something that, and I don't. It must be like coffee or something where you have to kind of keep eating it to. You got to get beyond the texture. I think.
I
Right?
guess, I don't know.
It's slimy.
It's
It's
yeah.
slimy.
No,
It can
no.
be.
What,
It can be, yeah.
What kind of slime? Well,
it's
I
slimier than cooked
I start with a
fish.
California roll. Basic California roll.
That's not really sushi.
That's
though.
not really sushi.
Oh, okay.
No,
All
it's not,
right.
though.
Well, but it's a good way to start.
It's a start.
It's a
Yeah.
start.
Yeah, it's like training wheels.
It's a gateway.
It's like training
gateway.
wheels.
And your wife likes veggies. Try the cucumber roll. That's really
she
easy.
hates cucumbers.
She's got quite a list. Yeah, Carrie's kind of like that too.
Your
Like,
wife? Yeah.
She likes a lot of things. She likes a lot of vegetables that I don't like Brussels sprouts.
Ooh.
You don't like
I
Brussels?
like Brussels sprouts.
A lot of people
Yeah,
do.
so do I.
A lot of people
my
do.
wife and I
Oh,
love
you gotta
Brussels
cook them
sprouts.
right.
How's she
yeah.
with cauliflower?
Yeah.
She like cauliflower?
I think so. Oh yeah, no, I know she does. We make the cauliflower like mashed potatoes.
Oh, interesting.
You don't like that?
Well, I don't,
You don't like cauliflower at all?
Well,
how about broccoli?
Well, broccoli. Throw some cheese sauce on it. It's a little.
Man, put some Smarties.
You throw some cheese sauce in
Smarty
anything.
glaze.
Yeah.
Well,
I've learned a lot about us, audience.
I'm learning a lot about your wives. Perhaps maybe one day. Perhaps one day we'll have a wives episode. I don't know.
Nicely done.
To make sure everyone's on board.
I'll show up. I'm just saying. I'll show up.
I know. Okay.
Yeah, I'll show up.
You get him here.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife lives here, so I'm off the hook.
It can't be called a wife show without the wives. I'm just
Yeah.
saying,
Okay.
No,
We'll make it. We'll make it. We're working on it.
Maybe we can get
We're
Rick.
working on it.
Maybe we can Can Rick
What? Do
maybe
you know how long
do
we've been doing
an
the
impression
show?
of Marie? Maybe if you give him a tape or something. A tape. God.
A reel to
Do
reel.
you have a wax cylinder that I could get of your wife's voice?
What are we doing?
I like it.
Did I tell you guys that the last weekend I went to Crate and Barrel, and I went in there
Don't
and
brag.
I said to the guy, "Where can I find the crates?" And he said, "I'm sorry, we don't sell crates." And I said, "Okay, where can I find the barrels?" And he said, "I'm sorry, we don't." I said, "Dude, what the fuck?"
Did that happen?
No, it's a joke. You thought it was a true story?
Wow.
I was hoping.
I
can I
did.
get-
That was the only thing that was going to save that joke.
Can I get another beer?
Oh.
Wow. Bring it all down.
On that note,
On that note, I am Matt Weinhold.
I am Shawn Sheridan.
I'm Larry Stroth.
and I'm James Gonis.
Keep America strong.
Open up a guidebook and let your fingers do the stalking. Really? A Yellow Pages reference?
Firehead.
So as I was saying, you're a fan of war games, right? The classic Matthew Broderick.
Would you like to play a game of chess?
See, the Whopper. But there was something in that film that both you and I loved.
There's another piece of technology in that film we're both crazy for. Is that the professor throws the pterodactyl glider that steers with its own head,
And it
we
looked real.
Oh, the wings and everything working. Come on, that's great.
Now, the funny thing about that film, I worked in a movie theater that showed that film, and I loved it. I saw it maybe, I don't know, like 100 times.
Yeah, I bet.
And I would always go in at certain times, and that was one of those times when I wanted to see the pterodactyl. But one time, I was in the theater, and the scientist is explaining to Matthew Broderick and Ali Sheedy about, he starts showing them the slides of all the dinosaurs and people, and then he says, all it is one big flash of bright light, and we're vaporized. As soon as he said that, the film broke. No. In the movie theater.
That's your blob moment.
And it went completely white. And the audience, there was a moment of, it was, and I'm like, even I, because I was in the theater at the time as a theater attendant, I'm like, the film broke. And I had to run. It was this oddest place for the film to actually break at that moment. Isn't that interesting?
I like the freeze and burn through. Did you get the burn?
No,
through?
no, it was a straight cut. It was like, and there was no.
Did the tingler crawl across?
See, now that would have been great. But you know, I'm gonna let you in on a little story. When I saw War Games, so this was 82, 82, the wonderful 83,
83,
83.
Okay,
Okay, well, thank you. Back in 83, when I saw this, do you know that I had not seen The Tingler in 1983? I had not seen it. Yeah, so if that thing were to come across,
Of the two films,
yes,
I prefer The Tingler.
You know,
look,
the book, they just can't get the whole book tingler in there.
look. Let's just say this: the War Games. It's
It's
a
all right.
great. No, see, you're saying that
It's
you're,
fine.
You're Mr. You're
It's
Mr.
okay.
No, you're
It's
Mr. You're
look,
Mr. 2018,
I
and
know.
you're like, oh,
Wow.
that's back in '83. Oh,
You know,
look at
a lot
this
of people
whopper
don't realize
machine.
that back in
Oh.
'83, I was Mr. 2018. I was always forward
Ahead of his
thinking.
time.
Yeah,
But you see, that's what I think. I think sometimes Matt, you
I was the Elon Musk of nobodies.
It's like what it is at the time when the film came out, you go, oh, this is neat. I like this. And then as time goes by, then you'll, I don't like this so much. And
Look, when I saw it, I went, "Oh, that's okay." It's like a really smart, dark computer wore tennis shoes.
Yeah.
The most remarkable thing about War Games for me is that it came out just like a month after Blue Thunder, and they were both directed by John Badham.
That's right.
And they both had this sort of warning of what technology can do for ill purposes.
And what people can do with it.
Yes.
That's a whole separate thing with
Yeah.
Blue Thunder.
Yes.
Yeah. That's not a robot. That's a person deciding to shoot civilians up
Malcolm
at a
McDowell.
demonstration.
that was a really cool helicopter, though.
Oh, yeah.
And you know they've made advancements like
Malcolm
that.
McDowell.
Malcolm, yeah, that's a yeah.
It
But
was an Alouette.
I've never seen that movie.
you haven't seen well,
Thunder?
It was an Alouette with bank glass put in the front of it.
Daniel Stern.
It's a very,
I do love Roy
very
Scheider and
80s,
everything.
Very
You would like it.
80s like
Yeah.
action.
You would like it.
yeah.
All right.
Do we know what we're
I
doing?
need to go to the bathroom,
By all
and I'm
means.
going to do it right here.
Ruprecht? You want me to get the genital clamp?
I must save my precious fluids.
Remember, Jack, you told me to feed you, and I fed you, Jack.
Can anyone really do a good Sterling Hayden impression?
The son of an abruptness to it. Hold him up.
That's pretty good.
Michael, sorry about that. Nothing personal, Michael.
That's good. That's good.
You know how it is, Michael.
Tough son of a bitch. He took one of the. He's a. Then pow, one in the head. He's like. He's still That's the toughest.
I'm sorry.
guy
This
ever.
is embarrassing.
Smash.
How
But
dare you?
I'd love it if I could hear it a little when you're closer to the microphone, though.
Well, Michael, nothing personal.
Come on,
Mandrake,
Sterling.
Punk.
You know, it's like
Feed. You know what fluoride is, Mandrake?
No, Jack, I don't.
was that you?
Yeah, he's
I
doing
thought-
Peter Sellers.
Oh, I didn't know where that.
It's a whole one-man
Jack,
show.
It's a whole one. It's a one-man show.
Yeah. Doctor Strangelove.
Wait. Is it a one-man show
In
or is
3
it?
minutes.
Look,
Give me the change, Sergeant Bat Guano, if that is your real name.
You have to answer to the Coca-Cola Company.
Very good.
Sweet.
wow.
Right. It's a good thing he didn't sound like his father, right? Oh, you'd have to answer to the Coca-Cola Company.
Wait, that was his dad?
Keenan Wynn, right?
Yeah.
His father was Ed Wynn.
Edwin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
my.
Yes. He was that guy.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, I better start sounding like this instead.
You know what's
I'm the
weird?
king of the forest.
on a totally unrelated but similar train of thought here. So you're doing Dr. Strangelove.
Yeah.
For Failsafe, there's this weird moment where Dom DeLuise is asked to give this information, and it's weird because when you see Dom DeLuise, I expect him to do some kind of a joke.
No, man.
And he's got one of this really difficult.
Hey,
So does that same with
Hagman.
Larry Hagman.
They gave
Yeah.
Hagman.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mr. President. He's just playing a person.
He's terrific.
Henry Fonda,
Oh,
tortured president.
You'll hear a high-pitched whine.
it was just on the other day, Failsafe, and we had I remember we had a discussion about this. Unfortunately, first of all, Failsafe is such a great film, but Dr. Strangelove came out before Failsafe, and so it was like 6 months. So when Failsafe came out, people were actually laughing at some of these moments, and they didn't take it seriously because of Dr. Strangelove, which is really a shame. If you see it the other way, I think it's better.
They're both great
I think
movies.
they're both really great.
What's the Widmark on the ship with the nuclear encounter? It's Widmark, and he's
And Sidney-
commander of on a Corvette type shit with a nuclear weapon.
Is that with the Sidney Poitier?
Yeah, he's a reporter on the ship, and now he's stuck in their nuclear conflagration.
I know. Okay.
What's that one?
The panel has stumped itself.
The nuclear incident.
The Bedford incident.
Bedford incident.
Okay, I've not seen that.
Yeah.
Now, I've heard of this. I've heard of this.
And it's
It's all about militarism pushing things for the
yes.
wrong
Oh,
way,
great.
letting
Yeah.
dogma get you. Everybody gets killed because
Oh
of dogma.
wow, James
But
James
it's like-
MacArthur, Martin Balsam, Wally Cox.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
but it's
that's-
like
I've
they
never seen
have
this.
it's like you have to follow orders. There's a reason why
There's
we have to do.
protocol,
Yeah, there is.
And they're saying you got to be human and not do that this time, and they won't do it.
yeah.
That's a great message, you know.
It sounds a little like that Gene Hackman Denzel Washington submarine movie.
It's very it's
Oh,
similar.
Hunt for Red
It's similar.
October?
No. It's
Red Crimson Tide.
yeah.
Crimson
Yeah.
Tide.
It's similar.
He
It's
loses
similar.
his
But-
commission to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
that.
yeah.
different. It has a happier ending.
Crimson Tide.
Crimson Tide strangely does.
all
Yeah,
get
then
married.
the other one does. Yeah.
But getting back to Whopper, I have to tell you something I always liked
delicious.
about. Well,
Whopper?
I always
Like, what do you mean
liked-
Whopper? Like,
from War Games.
like fries
oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I always liked the Whopper at Burger King with cheese.
You know what? This might interest you then. This might interest you.
Yeah.
Did you know that I was doing a writing packet for something, and I did some research, and it turned out that between the Whopper and the Big Mac, you know, the Whopper has more calories. Yeah.
No.
Isn't that like you would think that?
Well, it is. It's more of a.
Big Mac.
It's more manly.
Well, it's a bigger.
It's
wider.
It's
I would think more
bigger,
bread.
wider.
Yeah, because
more
the
bread.
Big
though.
Mac
there's
is
more
kind
meat.
of effeminate.
And there's lots of sauce.
There's lots of
I like
sauce.
they put that
See,
sauce.
I don't-
I love the sauce.
That's why it's manly.
I like light on the
you're,
sauce.
You're light on.
I'm a little light in the sauce.
Yeah.
But that being said, I still like a Whopper. I love burgers.
you know what it
almost
is?
of any kind.
Yeah, me too.
It's that flame broiled. I love the being flame broiled. Put over the grill.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
anyway, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. Seriously, I need to go to the bathroom.
Well, go for
And I'm
God's
gonna-
sake. All
Go
right.
for God's sake.
And
Then let's go.
do you guys have all your drinks? Everyone's ready to go.
We're
Okay.
going to talk to our guest for a moment,
Okay,
right?
all right,
or like
all
20
right.
minutes, however
Don't talk
long.
about me.
Be sure to bring your drink so that you're pouring it in as you're peeing.
All right, so now that he's gone, there's a question I've always wanted to ask you.
Go, fire
Okay,
away.
One word, Willow. Mm-hmm. Tell me about your experience on Willow, because
It was just at the show in Santa Monica, and
Yeah?
Ron Howard was there.
What show is it?
It was what is it now? What year would it be? It's the 30th anniversary.
Oh
of
my gosh,
Willow.
has it been 30
And there was
years?
an
Oh my
event for
God,
it.
There was,
Oh
and
my
he was
gosh.
there, and I was there.
Yeah.
Was
Were you there with-
anybody else there?
It was packed to the gills, all the
Was
way
it
to the
really?
rafters.
For Willow?
With Willow got the room to the rafters packed. Of course, Ron helped a lot. I don't know.
well,
if it
yeah,
was the
sure,
same
sure.
Without
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
they wanted to hear him talk. But I mean, I thought it was pretty well. So the experience for me and Kevin Pollak, we were at San Rafael for the last 5 weeks of post-production, but we shot almost 7 days a week. Made some nice money in the golden time and all that. And we would go to the blue screen stage. No,
Right.
there was no green yet.
Right.
Right,
They didn't
right.
know how to do green yet.
Right.
In fact, they invented morphing for that film.
That's right when they changed. Yeah, the
Willow.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying.
Yeah,
I'm
the
trying
witch.
with the
There's
stick,
that
yeah.
witch that turns into all those
He
different
goes to
things.
all
Right,
these
right.
things, and then Michael Jackson does the next use of it with black and white, the heads
Right,
flipping
right,
back and
right.
forth for transitions.
But Willow did a really
Willow
nice
was
job.
first, yeah.
But so they got you in that little costume. And did you have your lines down, or they said, "Okay, guys"?
Do you know why we spoke French?
Why?
Because we were designed by Jean Giraud.
Oh, okay.
I
Interesting.
see.
That was a joke on him.
I thought you were going to say something like, hey, who's directing this? So did Ron? Was he there? Did he direct you guys?
It was, but George would on occasion because there were 2 units going.
George Wood.
3 units. I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on to make this thing work.
Did he have you guys? Did he go? Okay, now one of you trip and the other one go, or anything like that, or
Not that elaborate. He'd go, faster, funnier, and walk away.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He'd say faster, funnier?
Faster, funnier.
You're
Kevin and I
kidding.
would just die laughing, because we'd give each other kind of a little bit of be a little ball busty with each other in
Sure.
a playful
Right,
manner.
right.
Sure.
We had the first, I believe, send-up spoof of a behind-the-scenes on a movie set B-reel thing that we shot, and I think the disc has it of us on the side of the set with a Barbie dream house that it was my idea and Kevin's idea to come up to this thing and do a Barbie dream house that they made one for us so we can stay on the set for the movie.
Oh, that's
And
hilarious.
people are walking past and dropping wrappers on us and we're cursing at them. They're going to expect, and then George is very seriously saying, yeah, we have to keep them in the Barbie dream house because they're nothing but trouble, the brownies,
Oh, that's funny.
if they unionize, that kind of thing. So he was hilarious. Straight-faced Christopher Guest played it, mock you perfect,
Really?
Right. That's awesome.
And so there's all kinds of interesting firsts. The first time really giving a little person a chance to be a lead.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And George Miller acknowledges that the sweetness of the tone of his Lord of the Rings films is from the inspiration he found and how much they cared for each other in the village in Willow.
Wow.
To find that
You mean
bonded
Peter Jackson?
friendship that
You mean Peter Jackson?
What did I
You
say?
said George Miller.
No, I meant Peter Jackson.
The sweetness in Road Warrior. Is,
The other Australian guy,
Right.
got George Miller. I'm sorry, I meant Peter Jackson is exactly who I was trying to say.
So he liked the sweetness in Willow and decided, I want to bring that into the Shire in my Lord of the Rings.
I can see that. Yeah, I see
He
that.
admits it. He says he brought it into a script. He brought it into how he wanted to direct them to interact and care and cry and be feeling,
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I got weepy at the end when he comes back to the village.
Yeah.
And his wife sees him again,
Yeah.
and the little kids
Yeah,
greet him, and
right,
boom,
right.
I'm done.
Yeah.
And I've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
That's interesting though, because
And the room was done. They all at once.
Now, let me ask you another thing while Matt is cleaning himself up over here. Do you
Wipe the spittle.
there were some toys that came out, some Willow toys.
Were there?
There was
We didn't we were too small to fit with the toy is this size.
okay.
There's a kid will swallow a
But there's
brownie
a-
and then we're on cart.
there's a valuable the dragon toy. Do you remember the two-headed dragon?
Yeah,
There was a-
which I thought
The Ebersis.
But I thought the design.
You
of that,
didn't know the name of that?
I hated the
did not.
design though.
I did
It
not.
was-
I
he
hated
was
the design.
picking and General Kale. He was like throwing a gauntlet at the feet of reviewers.
Yeah, film critics.
Yeah, Pauline Kael is General Kale. The Ebersisk even kind of looked like Roger,
No.
That's why I
Look
didn't like
again.
Okay, I'm gonna have to borrow it from Jackie Cation, I guess. And,
Yeah.
get my copy.
Just look on YouTube. Look at the dragon sequence for Willow.
So the Jules Verne show was the world of Jules
Secret
Verne?
Adventures
Secret
of
Adventures.
Jules.
I like that show. I watched that show. That was a cool
good.
show.
Thanks,
It was
man.
very cool.
I had the lucky break of being able to design all the machinery for that show.
Because you're like a Jules Verne dude, right? You're like the.
Well, I like steampunk. Okay, we're early steampunk guys.
Yeah, I was just about to say. Yeah,
We did help make a little bit of the look. Yeah.
You're Mr.
cool.
Steampunk.
I'm dying up here. There's no chance of any other.
Well, you never know
never
about.
know.
Well, the problem is the cast has been rehired for other stuff
Right,
now,
okay.
so you might keep the name, but you won't get all the folks back.
Right.
I think that might have been it, folks. And it was I'm grateful. It was a real privilege and a pleasure, and I'm sad it had to be done, but that's the real life is you just be grateful for the part you did
yeah,
get
right.
because
Yeah,
they
totally.
gave me incredible stuff to do, along with a lot of comedians who no one knew they could be such good actors. The Dana Gould smashes it in that, Kathy Ladman, run the list of all the Brad Garrett. Oh my God, is he good in that?
It's awesome.
Judy Gold, forget about it. It's
Do any of them like
Andy Santino is fantastic.
Do any of them like science fiction, fantasy, or horror? Maybe I can get them on the show.
Well, a lot
Maybe we
of
can get
them.
a
A
call.
lot of them we've had on that are.
Wait, he just mentioned one. Dana Gould.
Dana and
Yeah.
who
Dana
else?
would be interested in
Yeah, no.
sci-fi. I don't know
we've
what his
done it.
time is
We-
like
we-
right now.
we've
He's got a
done-
show to do down
Yeah. He's got his own little show
in
he's doing.
Atlanta or something like that.
I used to
North
love
Carolina.
Kathy Ladman when I saw
Yeah,
her on Comedy
yeah.
Central a lot. Yeah,
She's a good actor.
yeah.
There's a lot of comics who are good actors. Andy Kindler's great.
Well, Brad Garrett did Jackie Gleason. He did a pretty good job at that.
Just go look at season 2 if you get a chance. Watch season 2 of I'm Dying Up Here and look at his work.
Wow.
It's breathtaking.
Probably won't be as breathtaking as this show.
So now, are we gonna ask for specific books? Or are we just gonna say just pick one?
I'm going to ask for a specific book.
I'm going to ask for a specific book.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if Matt can turn them so we can see the
good idea. And the
edge.
spines. Yeah.
Oh, that one's great. Yeah, those are great. Yeah, I can really read those.
Perfect.
Really? We're starting early.
And put them by like
idea.
put like
It's
large
okay.
in the bottom. They sequentially
I'm gonna
get
crash
smaller
and burn
in the top,
really
like it's a
quickly.
pyramid.
Can you alphabetize them?
No, it's
By
not, it's not
by
necessary.
author.
But can you see the small book? See the small creature? No, the small one.
Do
The
we
green
need
one.
like a kick light, maybe?
No.
Yeah.
No, come on, just bear with me. Just the creature
Put
in the black
creature
creature. Put it on the top
of the other
that one.
so they're more
Yes.
they're more even.
Yes.
Do it via Dewey Decimal.
Make sure
This is the last thing. No, the other side.
the other pile.
The other side.
pile. Yeah, feng shui the whole thing.
No, put those back. Put them back. No. Okay, the sooner you
good.
do this,
Perfect.
the quicker. Okay, it's
Perfect.
great. It's great.
Wait.
The sooner you do this, the
Okay.
sooner we can
No.
start.
Then turn the
We haven't started yet. What?
Are we calling it Revenge of Mad Movie Smackdown or Mad Movie Smackdown Volume 2? What do you want to do?
What do you guys like? I'll let the room decide.
Mad Movie Smackdown.
I thought it was
Revenge
Revenge
of
is good.
the
Revenge
Mad
is
Movie
good,
Smackdown.
Yeah. Revenge
Great.
of
I love
Mad
it.
Movie
I love
It's
it.
so aggressive to
What?
begin with.
What was your idea?
Requiem of the Mad Movie Smackdown.
No, I don't like that.
See, I
at
don't
all.
like it. I don't like that's
No.
death.
No, never say
No.
anything ever again.
With Requiem. Not to say that Mozart's Requiem isn't good. It's great, but for the sake of this particular podcast, I would say no.
Stay on topic.
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Is there anything wrong with staying on topic? I say no.
No.
No,
Requiem damn near killed him.
it's true.
I'm actually gonna crack. Already, it's heating up.
It's a little warm. It's a little moist. Is there air?
Is there hair?
Do you have a little mist coming in?
Every once in a while, I'm just gonna spray the hose.
Now, I bet.
Yes.
Are you a
I
big
bet
man?
the odds of us picking one of these
Yeah.
are very
you never,
slim.
Never
It'll
know,
happen.
though.
It's slim.
Yeah.
I think it'll happen. There'll be one that will.
At
come
least
up.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
That's-
we'll get on your case.
My case.
It'll be your fault.
I mean,
Wow.
because you're handing us the books.
Apparently, I run the universe. You
do.
I am
Well,
the
you
god
think
of
you do.
odds.
well, you
Okay.
are one that has the Infinity Gauntlet
Fuck,
here.
I don't have headphones. Jesus.
And that's our show, ladies
Rick,
and gentlemen.
I am
Thank
so
you.
sorry.
Thank you.
Normally, we've got our stuff together. I'm so sorry.
Normally, Matt is much more
Time to eat.
professional.
Yeah.
Blast you people.
Blast you.
Now we can start.
Blast.
I love when they use the word blast as a swear word. And
I do too.
Like blast the rules.
Yes. And curse you.
Damnation.
Curse you.
Curse you.
Blast, yes. to blazes with you.
To blazes with you.
Like who says
salty
that?
talk, mister.
Yeah. Like,
Bloody bloomin'.
Odds bodkins. All right, here we go.
And Rick, you know to get to the mic and
Now we get to the
like your sexy narrator voice or your scientist voice.
This is Rick Overton.
are at.
Yes,
This is Rick Overton and Sterling Hayden for Sex Chat Horror Talk.
No. There's no.
What are you wearing? Hurry it up. Hurry it up. Take it off. All right, drop them. Drop them now.
I'd pay $1 a minute for that.
Well, you're only going to spend about $3. This goes quick. I'm going to give it to you straight.
That should be the show. Really.
An
evening with Dr. Strangelove.
You could probably do a whole show on that alone.
You could, yes.
Sure.
General Jack D. Ripper.
Yeah.
An evening with Jack D. Ripper.
Yeah, kind of a motivational thing, you know?
That's right.
Yeah.
I know why you're here. You're all commies.
No.
Let's make America greater than great. With Sterling Hayden.
Is that it?
I got nothing.
Did we do all the and
I
you
wanna
find
do
us No, I meant your stuff. Did you do? I must be spacing. Did you do all the
Facebook, YouTube, Twitter?
You did. Okay,
I'm sorry.
Me too.
I'm sorry.
Lost time.
I apologize. So
it's just your voice. You just kind of.
Wow, I tuned all you guys out at the same time.
No.
Yeah.
It was
your voice is so.
It was
soothing.
smooth and yes, it was
Svengali-like.
smooth. Yes.
Yeah.
You could use it for evil.
Well, you don't have to pay attention to what I'm saying, but you must all give me $20 cash in the next 10 minutes.
All right, cool.
When I snap my fingers and you come out of it, you will reach for your wallets.
All right, there you go.
Didn't work.
On that note, ABK Brewery. Wait. I gotta say that again.
Wow, that was very Shatner-esque.
Come on, guys. Come on, quiet, please.
On that note, I am Matt Weinhold.
I am Shawn Sheridan.
I'm Larry Stroth.
And I'm James Gonis.
Keep America strong.
I think you can be a little more on that. It's just not. It doesn't feel like it's.
Okay.
It's.
Right.
There's something I come to expect from Larry Stroth.
All right.
It's all that ABK beer.
I need to be faster. That's what it is.
No.
Keep America strong.
No.
Give me a storm.
Give me a song.
No, don't misunderstand me. It's not like I listen to it at 2 times the speed. Sometimes it's sometimes
it's okay if you do.
When you're trying to get through a show, and I do it 1.5. It's.
Well, and you're
If I'm
assuming
walking
you don't
the
do
dog-
that the first time.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
no.
You're trying to. You're going. You're.
Times, right.
You're waiting for a moment or something, or I don't know. I'm trying to
guys.
explain you.
I don't know about you guys.
can't do
I
that.
do listen to our shows.
No, he does. Yeah.
Am I? Hopefully, I'm not the only
I
one.
listen to it too much.
I know.
I have it so it sticks in my brain
I
for
know.
weeks.
I know.
I listened to the Scott Thompson one the other day. It's hysterical.
Yeah, it's
that
great.
one's
It's great.
No, especially my current job. It takes me an hour to get to work back and forth. So it's in the car. I listen to it all the time.
I listen to it in the shower.
I do that too.
Do you? How?
Well, I put the phone in the sink and press play, and then you can hear it, the echo, when I'm in the shower.
impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just bring it right in under the water.
Do you put it in like a bag?
Turn on the water a little
bag?
stronger every time you speak. No.
I'm Larry.
That's funny. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah.
All right, here we go.
Our listener said that he was like me, though. I wanted to ask, does he have stuff still in mint and package?
I have a feeling that maybe that's kind of what he was hinting
Yeah,
at.
yeah.
Because
I
he's
think
talking about
right.
The collecting.
Right.
Yeah, I think
I
that's...
like to know what he has.
Yeah,
it's not
still
gonna, you'll
sealed.
hate it.
I don't know that.
Yes, you do. You're kind of a collection bully.
Right. Oh, a bully?
A little bit of a collection bully. Like I like my favorite part of Rich Carell was we're the guy who has the biggest science fiction
In the
horror
world.
collection in the world. He's got shit from The Exorcist and Alien and American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
And you're like, yes, but do you have a full set of the monster cards from?
He said no.
He said no. I,
You got to beat Larry.
I can live another day.
Touche.
Yeah, loser.
Maybe that's why he's not returning my texts.
No, that was good. I enjoyed that.
Someone has to be that guy, and I guess it's me. You guys can all sit comfortably.
You
guys can all sit comfortably and go, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
No, it's a well-oiled machine. All the parts working together.
It's good.
No.
All right,
Okay,
let's go.
Let's do this fucking thing. So some months back, James Gonis and I, Matt Weinhold, went to G-Fest.
G-Fest?
G-Fest.
Cool.
A Godzilla convention, but it's kaiju, it's
Sure, it's all
Japanese.
big monsters.
Giant monsters.
Tokusatsu.
It was so much fun.
It was great. And we interviewed a number of our fans.
Yes.
And so now we would like to present yet another G-Fest moment.
All right.
Run the clip.
And we have just run into Kent Nessa and Jason Nessa, who have their podcast of their own, Daikaiju Network. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello. Hey, what's up?
You having a good time?
Absolutely. It's one of my favorite things that I do every year.
Awesome. I had the pleasure of meeting Ken a couple of years ago when I was here. How's the podcast going?
It's going all right, working hard, making sure that we try to get content out on a regular basis. Kind of hit and miss, but do the
That's
best
important.
we can.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah, the schedule is very important.
Exactly.
How does this G-Fest compare to others?
It's one of the, I would say by far one of the best conventions I usually go to every year. It's pretty much the one I look forward to basically on a basis every year.
Where are you guys based? Where'd you come out of?
My brother Kent, he lives in Michigan there, and for me, I live in the Twin Cities. So so we kind of basically go off of earlier in Skype, and then right now we're kind of going on to YouTube to kind of do our live YouTube show from there.
Very cool. And the podcast is all kaiju related, right?
Yes, definitely.
This all sounds very familiar. Like, we're all old friends. We've all done, we haven't done the Skype because most of the time we try to get people all in one room so we can scare them, so we can look into their eyes and Larry can say something inappropriate and then we can see how they react, you know. But conventions, it's kind of like our way of life.
Yeah, it's like with us, you know, we would like to do it in person, but, you know, with him living in a different state from me, it's a little bit difficult. So
Sure.
we try to do Skype, but we've had a little bit difficulties, so we try to do a little bit different this time with YouTube. So,
Frankly, the only reason why we don't do Skype is the fact that we're just technological Luddites and we screw something up. We know it. You know, we think we had the whole thing recorded and then we wouldn't.
It's true. Or would be experiencing like static and drop out. We just know it's a foregone conclusion, right?
Right.
Sometimes it's not the person. Sometimes it's the software, as we found out on a number of occasions.
okay.
So we were interviewing August Rigoni here a couple of years ago. Had some issues there. Tried to do Kyle Yount from the Kaiju Cast. Had some issues there. Had to postpone that interview as well. So it's not always the individual. Sometimes it's the software.
Did you ever do interviews from here?
We have not done that. We've been thinking about doing something like that, but we don't have a mix or anything like that, so we're just kind of feeling everything out, see what everyone else is doing, figuring out, okay, if we want to do this in the future, do we want to have guests? If so, who do we want? Basically, how do we want to approach this? So we haven't figured that out yet. We're trying to grow our base a little bit too, so we're just kind of getting a feeler out there.
Well, yeah, this is a pretty busy show too. It seems like there's never enough time in the dealer's room and walking around. We've been here 2 days. We still haven't been to Artist Alley.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to kaiju stuff, we're at a kaiju convention. What kaiju issue is on your mind? The thing that you're talking about, whether it's an older thing or a newer thing, what have you been arguing about recently?
I don't necessarily, I guess, argue about anything. One of the things that I love, being a history major, I love a lot of the historical aspects of behind the scenes of the films and the shows. Kevin Horn, who is a regular panelist here, does a lot of that, and I love a lot of the stuff he brings to the convention. He gets DVDs that show a lot of the behind-the-scenes photos, documentaries and stuff like that, stuff you may or may not see in some of the American publications. So for me personally, that's the interesting aspect of.
When we went to Japan the last time, actually past few times, I managed to come upon, anytime I can come upon any kind of because I love Ultraman, so any Ultraman photo book that has behind-the-scenes stuff, and there were 2 big volumes that also, I think, had a DVD too, a short DVD, but with behind-the-scenes stuff, and that, I cannot get enough of that. To see, somebody with half their costume on, and, the edge of the stage, and then someone trying to, blow smoke into the thing, and, the fact that that's someone's job is the most incredible thing I can imagine. And I'm telling you, if I could start it all over again, I think I'd go down that road.
Now, did you happen to see the VERNE panel earlier?
I did not know.
No, we missed
They
that.
were showing a documentary with Casey Marase, one of the special guests here, and they were showing on that documentary how to put a foam costume together. And I started thinking to myself, it would have been nice to have done that, but I'm not very good with stuff like that.
So you've never actually cosplayed yourself?
I never have. I would hire someone out to make it for me, and then I'll just wear it.
Okay, a general question. What's your favorite kaiju movie of all time?
For me, it would definitely be The Return of Godzilla.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, as far as Kent knows, back in in the early to mid 90s, there was a video rental store back when we used to live as kids in Iowa. And I think every time when we go there, they had the American version?
Godzilla 85.
Yes, and I rented that sucker so many times and rewatched that so many times that I think Kent got bored with it or got sick and tired of it.
And now do you have the Blu-ray of the original Japanese version?
I think Kent gave me his copy, I think a few years ago of it, and I watched it, I think a couple times so far, and I definitely like that version better than the 85 one.
Yeah, I mean, the 85 one has its cheesy charms, but it's not.
Right.
What about you, Ken? What's your favorite kaiju movie ever?
That's tough. I would go with Invasion of Astro Monster.
Yes.
A little controversial. I'm one of the few Godzilla fans who loves the 98 film. So that will get an honorable mention.
Well, it's good to finally meet someone who does like that movie. Wow.
We will have Larry argue with you on Skype.
I will be happy to discuss.
Well, Ken, Jason, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for chatting with us.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy the rest of the show. Cheers.
Have a happy G-Fest. Happy G-Fest, everyone. Happy G-Fest. Happy G-Fest. One and all.